All right, what's good, what's good, what's good? Good morning. Let's talk this boxing this morning. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Bunch of press conferences yesterday, man. So we can chop it up about that and other developing news in boxing and talk smack about Devin Haney. Yeah. What's going on, Robert Robles in the building? What's going on? I jumped on here 2 minutes early. What's going on, Chillville in the building? What's happening, man? Gilbert Jimenez in the building. And then back to back. Freddie Jimenez, John Boy in the building. What's going on, sir? How you feeling this morning? Be Easy in the building. What's going on? He said, Grand Rising, Martin. Salute, my friend. Let's chop it up. This boxing talk, this great Thursday. Let's talk about Spence and Ugas presser. We can start it right there, man. The thing that stood out the most to me in that is what a good shape Errol Spence looks like he's in. No joke, man. He looked like he's in way better shape than he was going into like the Sean Porter fight. He looked like he's in better shape than he was like during the press conference of going into several fights, man. That dude looks like he's been looking fit for a while now, man. What's going on, Stobar? Weird Dooms, Stoner Bars in the building. My man, Weird Doom said, first time catching you live, man. Hey, man, I'm glad you're here, man. And I hope you don't feel doomed. You're not doomed around here, man. We got the good boxing talk. Rizzler, what's going on, man? He said, I watched Benavidez's full fight. Damn, that hand speed is really on another level. Canelo steps in and he'll get hit with a flurry of punches. Not even his head moving can cope with that. I told you. I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you. Go watch that dude's hand speed, man. He has nothing to offer me, though. Man, I'm done with Canelo, man. God dog, man. You believe your own BS, man. Don't believe all the BS around you. They have nothing to offer me. I mean, really, what does he have to offer me? Like, man, Bivol offered me his belt. They have nothing to offer me. Let them all fight each other. Then I'll fight them. Peasants. The peasants. I'll fight the peasants. Man, that dude. I am a fan of him. Hey, dude, serious, I'm done with that dude, man. Wesley Davison, what's going on? Mr. M Pride in the building, what's going on, man? The Avion Bible said, top of the morning to everybody in the chat. Absolutely, man. Top of the morning. Jose Rodriguez, what's good with you, brother? I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Can't complain. Had, good, interesting day of boxing talk. Boxing is just slow right now. Really kind of, I wish we had a sport where we could watch boxing all the time. There's always a really good fight coming up the next weekend and all of that stuff, but it's just not how it is, man. So, but yesterday was good, man. Oscar on Haney Garcia. Haney is dangerous. Oscar and Kambosos Garcia. I like this fight. I'm telling you, man. Hey, dude. Let me tell you, man. Dev's about to get screwed. That's what I think. I think he's about to get screwed by the zone. I think the zone is going to try to make Ryan Garcia a star, man, and get him them belts, man. That's what I think. Telling you, man, I vacillate on this whole thing, but now that Ryan Garcia is back in the mix and they talking all that craziness about Ryan Garcia, if Ryan Garcia looks good against this Togo dude, man, they gonna make that fight, man. They gonna make that Kambosos fight for that kid, man. I'm telling you. Davidson said, Errol in 10. Be easy, set. Smash that like button. Windy City Assassin. Salute for 9. Notice the difference in mentality between Spence and Canelo. Yes, man. Huge difference. And I wish you Canelo Alvarez fans would listen to the difference between those two guys and how he talks about people. He's like, look, man, I don't duck and dodge nobody. I'm not ducking and dodging nobody. Yeah, I'm fighting them. Yeah. They don't talk about, well, he really doesn't have anything to offer me. That is some silk pajama talk, dog. What do you mean he doesn't have anything to offer you? What do you have to offer the boxing public besides this BS fight with Bivol? Man, get out of here. Oh, Bivol's a hard fight. That's why, man, Bivol offers you the WBA? He offers you the WBA cruiserweight title. John Boy in the building, man. Much love in that super chat. I'm going to tell you something. If David Benavidez had that belt, he would say, the belts don't mean nothing to me. The belts don't mean anything to me. I'm in this for the fans. You know what I mean? John Boy, much love, man. Thank you so much for supporting that chat, brother. Benjamin Newsom said, Fanon, is there any truth behind Loma on the front line in Ukraine? I don't think you can validate whether he's on the front line or not. But he is in the military. That's for sure. He's in the military. The front line, I can't say. I ain't heard anything. I ain't never heard it. Richard said, I wonder if Fanon ever ducked a fade. You mean if I ever ducked a fight? Yeah, absolutely I have. No doubt about it. Damn right I have. I've had somebody try to start a fight with me and I just looked them in their face like, okay, you can keep talking, keep threatening. And I walked away. Damn sure I did. Damn sure right I did. And proud to have done it. You know why? Because they're not paying me $100 million to do it, dumbass. It would cost me money to either fix my knuckles or fix something on my face. One or the other. It wasn't happening, homie. Unless he puts his hands on me. Do I ever duck a fade? Do you put my hand? You put your hands on me, dude. I promise you, brother, you will see I am no little dude and not novice to defending myself. And I will do my damnedest to get you up off me. Believe it. If I gotta take something out of my pocket, stick a key through your eye, whatever. No holds barred, friend, if you try to put your hands on me. However, do I go running around looking for fights? No. Somebody willy-nilly talking shit, and do I fight somebody willy-nilly talking crap to me? No. You know why? Because I'm 52 years old, brother, and I got more sense than that. Now, I didn't duck no fade from you. Let me see. Let me see if you can duck this fade. Yeah, I can't find you, so you get to duck that fade I'm about to put on you. And my man, John, okay, I got my man John Boy. Oh, there you go. We'll see this. We'll see this. We'll see this. Where'd he go? Where you go with the I wonder if I ever ducked the fade. Richard, yeah, duck this fade. See you later, homie. Giovanni Walker said, today is Super Chat Thursday as I did last Saturday, and we had a great Super Chat phenomenon. From now on is Super Chat Thursday. Let's get it started. Giovanni Walker, much love in that Super Chat, brother. I appreciate you. Last Thursday, Super Chat Thursday is wild as shit. I would love a Super Chat Thursday, man. And thank you so much for that support, bro. Anyway, man, it's Benjamin Newsom laughing. Yeah, man, to say, John Boy, that's how real men talk. Yeah, exactly, man. Get up out of here. What do you think this is, man? Shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't play fighting. Heck no, dog. If you trying to fight me, bro, let me tell you something, dog. I ain't gonna try to do it. However, like I said, I keep a set of keys in my pocket, though. And that shit will puncture you. I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all ain't hurting me. Anyway, Richard, see you later, homie. For childishness. Powerhouse Watson, them Chi-Town brothers don't play. Hey, man, not with no fighting, man. Jimenez, I like the way you keep it real and not try to make yourself seem like a tough guy. Yeah, I'm not man, no. Gilbert Arenas. You say Gilbert Arenas, Gilbert Jimenez. Heck no. You can get hurt in fights, homie. For real. You can get hurt, man. They ain't playing with that stuff, man. No. I'll walk away from a fight in a heartbeat, man. Kidding me? Darren Griffin said, after a certain age, ain't no fades. It's life and death. You got that right, brother. I ain't fighting for fun. You know what I mean? What do you think? You must never been in a real fight. That shit ain't fun. I'm not interested in it. Chris McClain in that super chat, brother, said, Fanon say you going to fade this key into the eye. Much love in that super chat, brother. Man, you got me crazy, dog. I'm trying to maim you. I ain't fighting. Dog, do you know what this one little dude told me one time? My dude, it's a little guy. I don't mean to call him little guy like disrespectfully. He's like, look, man, dude, because I always knew, dude, I don't mess with small guys, brother. I don't mess with them little dudes because they wild with it. He was like, look, man, if I have to get to a fight with a big dude, I'm telling you, first thing I'm doing is biting him. I was like, what? He's like, you got that right. I'm jumping right on that dude and on his face, and I'm biting and I'm chomping down and I'm ripping and I'm ripping. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, them big ass dudes ain't gonna hurt me. Like, man, them big old boys ain't gonna hurt me. No, thinking I'm small and all that. No, I'm trying to defend myself. So I was like, oh, that's what I thought. You gotta stay away from them dudes. And I got the story of them dudes talking some crap to some Vietnamese dudes in the 80s whose family had just come up out of that Vietnam War. not too, like 15 years before. They don't play, man. Them dudes bring out machetes. So I was like, nope. Anyway, I've seen gruesome shit, so no thank you. Terry Schmoot Jr. said, we're doing Thursday part 2. I'm down. We enjoy Fanon and his content. If you can support, it's past the first of the month. Salute Fanon and the chat. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much for that support, bro. And my man, but Terry Schmoot, but let's get back to ragging on Canelo. Canelo is a bitch. I'm sorry. Forgive me for saying that if my mother's listening to me. Blacksmith Roz in the building. He said, big ups to the channel. Press that like button. Absolutely, brother. My man said, CJ C. Coolidge said, what's the front line in the military? I suppose it's the Marines. That's who I thought that's who I thought they were. The people that are on the ground right where the tanks and stuff cross over the border, right? That type of stuff, man. You know what I mean? But much love to everybody that supports in the super chat, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man. He said, and my buddy didn't look, and my buddy didn't look for a fight. I said, don't fight my buddy punching some dude. What'd he say that? Dude fell, hit the sidewalk, and died. My buddy did about 10 years, and my buddy didn't look for a fight. Yeah. Not trying to do that, man. Hey, get up out of here, man. You know what I mean? Heck no. Yeah, it's like the Marines. Dudes right in the front, right, who are catching bullets and things like that. Man, hey, man, I'm going to tell you, yeah, he's a cold bitch. Hey, man, look, I can't tell you if he's on the front line. I doubt it, though. I will tell you this. I doubt it because he's worth more for morale in a uniform than he is dead on the front lines. So I doubt that he's on the front line. I doubt it very much. I doubt it. But I don't know because they don't play out there like them Eastern Europeans. They'll kill you. You know what I'm saying? They bomb shit over there. That ain't no that they bomb shit. You know what I'm saying? They bomb stuff. So I don't know. I'm just saying I ain't playing around with them dudes. They bomb shit. They blow stuff up. They kill each other out there. This ain't, they really war out there. I ain't in the mood for that, man. We safe. I'm gonna sit here relatively safe talking about racial discrimination. I ain't talking about mortar shells and shit like that flying around. Dang, man, my man, John Boy, big in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much, man. He said, let's put our heart and prayers out to all the people in Ukrainian front line or not. They're there to sacrifice. Absolutely, man. No doubt. Mad respect for the Ukrainians. And honestly, man, I don't want to say this. I'm going to say this, but you guys might not like it, but I'm still going to say it. And honestly, respect to the Russians that are told to go there that don't want to go there. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that from an American perspective. Like, I know there's a lot of military people that go into places where we're pretty much starting stuff. And, they're following orders, So I just got respect for soldiers all around. But the invasion and all that stuff, man, you know what I mean? It's tough, man. Fanon, I was actually messing you with the front line is the infantry unit. Okay, thank you, brother. Like I said, I respect the military and I stayed away from it. Oh, yeah, Cinnamon's a fraud, man. I'm telling you. Ramel Williams, and much love in that super chat. Jose Rodriguez, man, much love in that super chat. He said, Fanon, you think internet made boxing worse or helped it? I think it helps. No joke. I think it helps. Because, Canelo Alvarez asked a shitload of questions about Jamal Charlo. See, that's why I'm calling Canelo a punk. Because he keeps having to ask questions about it. They ask him so much about Jamal Charlo that he's ducking. Dude, you can't be at a press conference and have a bunch of people asking you about the same fighter over and over, fight after fight after fight, and you act, well, he's got nothing to offer me. Yeah, dude, but clearly people want to see you fight him. Clearly. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting these questions all the time. People weren't asking him about David Morrell. Not saying, hey, man, when you go fight David Morrell? Not at all. Oh, my bad. You know what I'm saying? They're not asking about David Morrell, right? They're not asking when you go. Nobody asked him any questions about why you're not fighting Beterbiev or why you're not fighting Jose Ramirez. They're like, why you ain't fighting these guys over here, David Benavidez and Jamal Charlo? Because that's who people want to see him fight. And that is evident from the questions that are being asked to that dude. So you guys are over there trying to take Captain Saberho with Captain Saberho with Canelo. Remember, he keeps getting asked him questions. I'm not making that up, bro. We're not just sitting here making it up. My man in that super chat, be easy with the big six in the building. Thank you, brother, so much, man. He said that lucky six for nine. Hey, brother, thank you so much, man. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much for that support on Super Chat Thursdays. That's what's up. Wolf King Productions. Good morning to you, brother. How you feeling this morning, man? Jamie Campbell, you got to give credit to Canelo for fighting undefeated Bivol. Why? I'm not giving him any credit for that. For what? I think he's going to win the fight. I don't care about the fight. I don't got to give him credit for shit. No joke. He's ducking Charlo. He's ducking Benavidez. I don't have to give him credit for that. I think it's an easy fight for him. No joke. I don't believe him. I don't believe it. I think he knows he can win that fight. He even called him the second best. He out of his own mouth called him the second best guy in the division. I'm going up here to fight the second best guy in this division. No, dude, I don't got to give him any credit. I'm not giving him any credit for that. For what? I know he's going to win the fight. I'm not even going to give him $80 to pay for the fight. I don't want the fight. Okay? I don't have to give people credit for fighting undefeated fighters that I don't think can fight. Well, Bivol can fight, don't get me wrong. Jamie, so why give credit to Spence for fighting Gas, who lost to Sean Porter, a gatekeeper? Credit? What do you mean? You want to give him credit? I know that he's going for undisputed. In that he's going for undisputed at 147. What's the problem? He didn't go pick him out because he didn't duck anybody to fight him. I give him whatever. I'll give him the win. I don't have to give it. He's not going to get as much credit as if he would beat Terence Crawford. But see, Errol Spence Jr. is fighting everybody. Errol Spence Jr. is fighting everybody in his division. He's fighting the best people in his division. Terence Crawford, Canelo has not fought the best guy in his division. In my opinion, he ain't fought the best guy in his division yet in his career. You guys may say Gennady Golovkin was the best at 160. I don't think he was. But maybe he say it was him. He ain't fought the best person in his division since Gennady Golovkin in 2015. I don't believe him, dude. Anyway, Blacksmith Ross says, for American military, I served 8 years in the Marines. We are the first on the line, and once everything is established, the Army takes over. Simplify to my devil dogs out there. That's what's up, Blacksmith Ross, in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much for that support. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. I got respect for all the military. I'm not even playing, bro. And seriously, man, if I was a little bit more mature when I was coming out of high school, I probably would have went in. I was scared of basic training, though. Just Curtis Sewell. Hey, man, much love in that super chat, brother. Much love in that super chat. Curtis Sewell with that support, brother. Thank you so much, man. It means a lot, too, brother, because there ain't nothing a lot going on in boxing right now. Simplify. It's Simplify. And my man Mike Kirkland in the building says Spence was talking some real ish yesterday during the interviews. Can't understand how people can hate on him, but like Canelo. Bro, exactly. Man, he's got way more heart than Canelo, man. Way more heart than Canelo. Much love in that super chat, brother. Way more heart than Canelo, man. Way more heart than Canelo. Way more into way more into proving himself, man. Ringside with LCD said, who freaking Rod? That's what's up, man. Freddie says, Semper Fi. That's what we got, the military in the building. Gotta love the military, man. Sal Medina, what's going on, man? Spence had not fought the best. Crawford has not fought the best either. Saul, what's going on, Saul? They both in the weight class saying they're going to fight each other. They're not saying, what is he? He doesn't have anything to offer me. Your boy Canelo went out like a punk yesterday, all right, on multiple occasions. He's sitting there asking questions, answering questions about Canelo, about Charlo. He won't even mention the man's name, and what does he have to offer me? And trying to act like he don't care about fans. He don't care. He cares about himself. I'm going for my legacy. What's important to me? What do you have to offer me in my silk pajamas, in my blue Bugatti? Dog, come on, man. He's a hoity-toity. He's just hoity-toity, man. Dog, he's I mean, I don't mind the arrogance. He's he's killing the game. So I don't mind the arrogance, I don't mind the arrogance. But dude, it's very clear that he don't care about what boxing fans want. He is going to take that. He's taking that easy money. And you saw Bivol, same size. How big is Bivol? Again, did you see him standing next to Canelo? They look roughly the same size, dude. Roughly the same size. Bivol is not that big, dude. Bivol is small. Bivol looked like he's smaller than Charlo. Canelo's far is going to be hard. I'm just trying to tell you, man. I think he's a fraud, brother. I'm telling you right now, he's in full-fledged Hollywood mode. Jeffrey Brooks said, for the same reason those Spence fans hate Bud's guts. It's been that way. That's why I can't wait for the fight day to arrive. What's it? For some reason, those Spence fans hate Bud's guts, and it's been that way, and that's why I can't wait for the fight day to arrive. Much love in the super chat, bro. Hey, let me tell you, man. They don't like Bud because of Bud fans, brother. I've been here the entire ride, Jeffrey Brooks. Much love in that super chat, brother. And thank you to all of y'all who've been supporting in the super chat today, man. Thank y'all so much, brother. Thank you so much. Look, man, the reason why cats go so hard on Terence Crawford, first of all, is because everybody cares about the fight. However, Terence Crawford's fans started it. Okay? Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. fans were minding their own business talking shit about Keith Thurman. No joke. But everybody was just minding their business, talking smack about Keith Thurman. And all out the blue, y'all you started making up these fantasy stories about how Errol's been ducking Terence since 2002. Completely fabricated ridiculousness. Okay? And that's when people started jumping on y'all, man. Started getting on Bud like that, dude. Cause like, oh no, man, get up out of here. Bud ain't fought nobody. And that's when I started saying, I'm like, man, are you kidding me? Bud is literally, at the time, had not fought anybody at 147. It was all Errol's fault. Errol's not fighting. Well, what happened? What about Bob Arum? How doesn't Bob Arum have anything to do with this? You were taking Errol Spence Jr.'s words and changing them up, making him say things he didn't say, have all kind of stuff. The good old boxing talk that we do. So anyway, man, however, I will say this. Look, man, do not make that stuff about people's personal lives. Because I got a funny story about somebody that because Bud will ball you up. No joke. I saw somebody get balled up by Bud. Bud balled this dude up, man. Oh, God, man, that shit was funny. That was funny. Went one step too far with Bud, dog. Bud had a slew of lawyers on his ass. Whop! Like, ain't said a bad word about Bud since Bud slapped them lawyers on him, dog. Bud can't slap no. I ain't telling the story, dog, because that's against my policy. Let's just put it this way. Somebody said something about Bud that was personal, very, very personal, and not related to boxing at all. And when I saw it, I was like, dang, why would you do that? Like basically like tried one of those troll tactics, like one of those heavy duty troll tactics where they do like with me or something and put all, say, oh, I'm not going to say what he said either. Cause I'm not honoring any of that. Trust me. I'm not honoring nothing about what the dude said. However, dude said something that was real personal and didn't have nothing to do with boxing and got slammed with a lawsuit. And then, ever since then, I think maybe the lawsuit got dropped, but ever since then, that has been the biggest Bud supporter in the world. He jumped from Team Spence to Team Bud real quick. Man, that shit was hilarious to me, boy. Woo, that was hilarious. Hey, Kenny already told. I don't know nothing about. I ain't saying nothing about it. Hey, if somebody else told you a story, I'm gonna tell you. I'm just laughing. I was my God, brother. I was seriously, man. I was crying on that because you ain't gonna sue me because I'm gonna keep it boxing. No joke. And I'm gonna say this is my opinion. This is my opinion, and this is about boxing. This has nothing to do with that man's personal life, brother. I ain't calling nobody no drunk. I'm not calling nobody any type of, abuser, any of that stuff, man. Keep that shit out of people's faces, man, because it ain't fair to the dude. They should be able to have their own lives. They don't get to have their own boxing career, okay? They don't get to sit there and fight and pick and choose fights and all that stuff and have fans not saying anything about it. But their own personal life, man, come on, man. Let them dudes, don't try to sully the man's life. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Put something on him like he's a coon. Like, I don't call boxers coons. I don't call boxers, I rarely call a boxer a racist unless he really does something that, boom. You know what I mean? Anyway, Jeffrey Brooks said the only thing Bud said about Spence was facts. Is PBC had Spence in protective custody. At least it seemed that way. Jeffrey Brooks, I'm not talking about what Bud said. Bud has always been honest. A little off in his logic, in my opinion, but he's been honest. I'm talking about his fans. We talking about what we do. You know what I'm talking about? We talking about what we do around here with all the assaults that people take, day to day when they argue about boxing, man. Because these boxers now, for the first time in history, get to literally sit in the middle of all the barbershop conversations about them and listen and hear what's going on. They send people into the chats, if they're not in there themselves, to defend them in the chats. Canelo Alvarez, I promise you, Anthony Joshua, their camps have all heard this channel. All of them. And I'm going to tell you again, to any of you Canelo Alvarez folk, your boy's out here looking like a punk. He's wearing silk pajamas, driving beautiful Bugattis, jumping out of private planes with his wife is off the chain. But dog, he don't want to fight, man. I'm telling you, man, it's hard to want to be a man in them silk pajamas. Them silk pajamas tell it all, dog. Telling you, them silk pajamas telling on him. Hey, Blacksmith Ross said, okay, let's cut the crap on Canelo. I bet one Canelo fan, please answer this question. If Canelo cares about legacy, then why he chose 168 to unify over 160 routes? All of the champions above 160 are unpopular. And let me add this to this, Blacksmith Ross. And 160 is a traditional weight class with a history. There's no history in the 168 division, friends. None. So to say that you're trying to make history at 168, you must not know much about boxing history. 168 is not an original weight division. All of the best middleweights, they were at 175 or they were at 160. 168 is a tweener weight, just like 150 is. 154 is. It's 160 and it's 175 and it's heavyweight. That's why nobody cares about cruiserweight. That's why nobody cares about 140. That's why nobody really cares about 130. They care about lightweight, welterweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight. And barely care about light heavyweight. Barely care about light heavyweight. It's not even a historical weight class. You can't make history at 154. You can't not for another 100 years. Once you get another 100 years in it, okay. But dog, get up out of here, man. You ain't made, No, boxing is old, man. But boxing's weight class has been around for a long time. And those weight classes, some shit Bob Arum made up. So he could get more fights and more championship belts for his guys. Those are ducking weight classes in and of themselves. You know what I mean? Anyway, much love in the super chat, brother. Everybody that's been supporting, man. Thank you guys so much. And it's really important. Thank you. And the Cash App, I'm sorry, I should check the Cash App. Thank you guys so much for keeping the channel floating. And we say that shamelessly. If you can't support, I understand that. Because that's just what it is, out here in the Wizard. But I appreciate you guys so much for you guys that keep the channel going. True Gritter in the building. Hey, Michael Bond said, you're right. 168 pounds is not a real weight class. It's not. It's historically speaking, it's not a real weight class. It's some shit they just made up. Just like Bridgerweight. I guess if he goes to Bridgerweight, he can go make history at Bridgerweight too. You know what I mean? You're making up history is what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You're claiming something is super duper ooh-wee. Nobody's ever done this in history. Dude, the shit ain't been around forever. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like they invent like you the first guy to win an Olympic medal in seed spitting. You know what I'm saying? I'm an Olympic gold medalist in seed spitting, in cow chip tossing, some shit like that. Like, man, come on, man. Excuse me, some stuff like that. So, dude, nobody care about 168. It's 160, homie, and he chose not to be undisputed at 160 because he didn't want to fight Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade had something to offer you. He had that belt. Why didn't you take that belt? Also, Canelo, Sergey Deverenchenko was your mandatory, but that's nothing. That's not offering me anything. That's not offering me anything. How's that gonna help me get any more silk pajamas? You just get out of here with you wearing silk pajamas, brother. Blacksmith Ross in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much for that support, bro. Said Canelo never asked 168 champs to fight each other before he fights them. He never asked 175 guys to fight each other before he goes up. Please, Canelo Alvarez fans, answer that question. Dude, they can't answer that. You know what their question is? I'm going to answer the question for him, Blacksmith Ross. Because he beat Sullivan Barrera, Joe Smith. He beat Sullivan Barrera and Joe Smith. And John Pascal. That's what he did. Oh, Callum Smith. Oh, what did Callum Smith do? Callum Smith beat George Groves. He beat George Groves. That proves it right there. Look at that competition level. George Groves. They just say the guy's name and act like people are supposed to think these dudes are some superstars or something. Like, oh my God. Yeah, get out of here. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, he said a lot of seed spitting. I'm trying to tell you, man, they'll act like that shit's historic. Dude, I'm getting older, man. I've seen it a bunch of times now, man. Seriously. You know what I mean? Like saying, like, for example, people will say in the NBA, right? How much better now? Stephen Curry may be a better shooter. I'm not sure if he is or not. Because first of all, Steph Curry can shoot for days, right? But they will say, oh, Steph Curry's a way better shooter than Larry Bird. And my thought is, you're bugging. He didn't play, most of his career, there was no three-point line. And they didn't play like that, first of all, they had they didn't have any zone defenses where it would let the shooter just, eat up a zone. You know what I mean? They didn't have all those touch fouls or any of that stuff because if Larry Bird shot a three, they would put their hand in his chest. They'll touch his chest, touch his legs. Right now, on the perimeter, they call all kind of fouls on the perimeter that they did not call when Larry Bird would have shot all them threes and been disrespectful as shit, by the way. Shooting it from dang near half court. They'd bust you in the lip for doing that. Because they would think, oh, you're showboating. Now, showboating, you can't punish people for showboating. But Larry Bird, I have a very hard time believing. Larry Bird cannot rip up anywhere out there where Curry can shoot. I got a hard time believing that Larry Bird can't hit them same shots with the same consistency. I have a hard time believing that because that dude didn't miss. I mean, God dog, he can shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, God dog, he can shoot. But they'll act like, oh, no, look at the stats. Well, it wasn't the same game at the time. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong for you Steph Curry fans. I know the dude can really, really shoot. Anyway, yeah, no hand checking, no days. Exactly. It's a different situation. Anyway, said, listen, I'm no Canelo fan, but I do think you guys are a little hard on him, bro. He worked hard for the spot. So did everybody else, 706 Omerta. So did everybody else. So did Jamal Charlo. So did Demetrius Andrade. So did David Benavidez. They all worked hard to be in those positions. Canelo Alvarez has not worked any harder than anybody else has. He has not worked anywhere any harder than Errol Spence Jr. works, than Terence Crawford works. They all work hard. And on top of it, he popped dirty for performance-enhancing drugs. But they all work hard. So I'm really glad that you said that. So you can understand that's why Charlo and these guys want to fight. because they work hard. They all work hard. You can't tell me that Canelo Alvarez works any harder than Jermall Charlo does, or Jermell Charlo does, or Terence Crawford does, or Errol Spence Jr. does, or David Benavidez does. I doubt very much he works any harder than any of them do, because they all are world-class fighters, and they all train hard. They all deserve the shot. They all get in there and get punched in the face, just like Canelo. But Canelo want to get on the stage and not let him on the stage. Canelo is on the big stage, and he won't let those guys on the big stage because they don't have enough to offer him to let them on his stage. Dude, that is not the way Floyd Patterson behaved. Floyd Patterson is like, look, man, this guy over here, Sonny Liston, I very well may lose to him. I'm probably going to lose to this dude. I'm probably going to get beat up. But he's the number one contender. He deserves to fight. I'm fighting him. And if he wins, he'll be a good champion. I'm not going to do that man like that. But Canelo don't care. Canelo will make these dudes fight 15 times to get a shot that they've been deserved because he says they don't deserve it. If they really truly didn't deserve it, Canelo, you wouldn't be asked about it so much. That's just real. If he really didn't deserve it, they wouldn't be asking. Other people wouldn't be asking about those things all the time. I've been following Canelo, and I respect his skills, but not his actions. Canelo left 154 because he couldn't make the weight anymore, and that's fair. But Canelo didn't stay 1 year at 160 or get a belt. He got a belt at 160. He got 3 belts at 160. He fought Gennady. He got 3 belts at 160. He got them all. He got all the belts that were held by Gennady Golovkin. And then I don't think he defended him. He defended against Gennady Golovkin and he left. He never defended him. Because he would have had to fight Deverenchenko, he would have had to fight Charlo and by the way, also, the fact that he got that franchise belt, sorry, that's a bad taste in people's mouths when this guy doesn't have mandatories. Everybody else in boxing history has to defend mandatories. Somebody has a route to fight him, but not Canelo. Man, I'm sorry, man. He's way too prima donna, man. And you guys I've done the right. I have the right to do what I want. Man, you sound like a punk, man. Really, is what you sound like. No joke. I don't like the attitude, man. It's not boxer. It's not boxer, dude. No joke. It's runway model. He's a boxer with a runway model attitude. You know what I'm saying? He's Mike Tyson acting like Naomi Campbell. No joke. That's what he looks like. He acts like Naomi Campbell. Where's my water bottles? This is not Evian. This is tap water. Give me my Dolce & Gabbana Give me my Dolce & Gabbana underwear so I can wear them off the plane. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. That ain't no bad, man. Dude, that is so get up out of here, man. You walking around literally walking around in pajamas, in $10,000 silk pajamas. And you think this dude is, he's a rough and rugged guy. Man, like I said, the dude is Mike Tyson with a Naomi Campbell attitude. No joke. Oh my God. I said shaken, not stirred. My margarita, I said my margarita shaken, not stirred. That's Canelo, man. Get out of it. What do you have to offer me? He offered me a belt, and he's an easy fight. Why would I fight you? He's so easy. You know what I mean? Just get out of here, man, with Canelo, man. And you know it, too. All right? You know it. Okay? So don't act like he ain't just way out there with it, man. Blacksmith Ross said, please don't shame or guilt people by saying we are hard on Canelo because it's a shaming tactic. Please answer the question, why didn't he take Charlo belt at 160? Canelo fans, it's weird. You talking about why didn't he defend his belt against Charlo as a mandatory, and why didn't he take Andrade's belt? That's what that is at 160. Much love at the super chat. Because he gave up. He didn't give it up. He was elevated to the franchise champion. And because he's too important to boxing to make him fight anybody. Because he's so important to boxing. That's what the WBC did. He's so important to boxing. Not Mayweather, by the way. Mayweather, you can let Marcus Maidana get in there with like isotoner gloves and fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr. He's not that important. I ain't stopping nothing until your boy takes off those silk pajamas, till he stops wearing silk pajamas and stop acting like he's done. I've already achieved everything in my career. I don't need to fight him. I need another great European champion to beat up on. It's a challenge. I fought him because he's a tough fight. Man, shut up. You fought him because he's a tough fight. Everybody's a tough fight, except for the guys you came up with. Except for guys that have been undefeated for years. And by the way, Jermall Charlo is an undefeated champion that he's not fighting. David Benavidez is undefeated and was a champion 2 times who he's not fighting. And Demetrius Andrade is an undefeated champion. The same thing that you guys say about these other people, these guys are all that, and they've been in the same weight class for this guy for like 5 or 6 years. But he keeps slithering away from them to go find other people, and you don't see anything strange about that. You know what I'm saying? Floyd didn't do that. You didn't see nobody chasing Floyd from 130 pounds up to welterweight. You know what I'm saying? That didn't get a fight, bro. He's just he's too Hollywood, man. His ego is too, it's in the, I'm serious, man. Y'all give him too much star treatment, man. He got too much money. Telling you it's going to catch up to him. 706 Omerta said, Charlo is not that guy, I swear. Really? How do you know? How can you swear on it? You do not know unless he fights him. You do not know. You're just saying that. Oh, he's just not that guy. He's not the guy he wants to fight, clearly. Clearly. I'm sorry, dude. If you refuse to fight somebody, you look like you're ducking. If you refuse to fight somebody that's got a legitimate claim for a fight, you look like you're ducking. Do not act like Charlo is not done the things necessary to get a fight with that guy. But all these other guys have, who've not done as much as Charlo has. Bivol is not a 2-division weight champion. He's not. He's not won half of the fights. He's won half of the fights. He's got 10 less victories than Charlo? He's a champion in 1 division, not 2. He's got half the knockouts of Charlo. He doesn't have as many wins as he's not a 2-weight division champion like Andrade. When did that stop mattering? When a guy's he's a multi-division champion, right? Is Callum Smith a multi-division champion? No. Is Callum Smith a multi-division champion? No. Is Bivol a multi-divisional champion? No. How come it is when it's other people, how many belts you've held in different divisions matter, but it doesn't matter for Jermall Charlo, and it doesn't matter for Demetrius Andrade. But they are 2-division champions. Now they got to go up to a 3rd division where there's no belts available, none. Because you can't say win a belt, because the only person they can win a belt against is Canelo, but he can't. But they're not allowed to win belts at 168. That's what you guys are saying. They don't deserve to win belts at 168. They got to go do something else and just wait around. Dude, he's the champion in the division. If they move up in that weight class, they don't have any duty to fight each other. They get to go for the champion like everybody else does. But these special rules for Canelo, these special Canelo rules, it's Canelo and he deserves it. Man, you guys are punks, man, with that stuff, man. Floyd is TBE, so I'm done defending Canelo, bro. Hey, man, there's no defense for him in this. It's not. There's no defense of it. He should fight these guys. It's obvious. You're not cleaning up. You're taking a bite off the plate and putting it in the trash and saying, yeah, I'm done with that. You take some food off the plate. Everybody else is sitting there like, okay, yeah, well, we here. Yeah, you beat him, but you didn't beat me. Oh, well, I'm done. I've done enough. I've proven myself. Two to Greedom said, Canelo says it's about legacy, then fights Rocky Fielding for a regular belt instead of going for undisputed with Demetrius Andrade. Exactly. Where's the history in that? Where's the history when he did that? Man, stop it, man. Y'all know that dude's full of it, man. You're just buying the nonsense. And we're going to say that, and we're going to say it to, and honestly, going to trash the dude's resume and going to trash him when he retires, just so you know, if he don't fight those guys. Never gonna get clear praise, bro. Because well, he should have never fought Jamal. You know, who is this Jamal Charlo guy? Man, please. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, gosh, you know, because you don't want to see the dude have a chance, man. That's ridiculous. And y'all are ridiculous, man. Oh, Marvin Rock said he wants them old. They're not gonna get old. They're the same age as him. Same age as him. They're not gonna get old. They're literally his companion. Dude, they literally like came out of the draft with him. You know what I'm saying? And he got to fight all the old guys. That's what happened. Canelo Alvarez got to beat up all the old guys, and they never got a chance to beat up the old guys with the big names. Because Charlo didn't get fed. Charlo didn't get fed Cotto. He didn't get fed Mosley. He didn't get fed. Who else did he get fed to build his name? He got fed a bunch of old fighters. Fed a bunch of old fighters. And not that that's a bad thing, but that builds your name up. He didn't get the opportunity to fight Mosley. He didn't get the opportunity to fight. Who else did he fight? He fought Mosley. He fought Cotto. Who did he fight? Angulo. He never got fed those guys, man. Anthony say, great morning, my bro from Cali. Shout out to Cali, brother. Anthony Britt said, Canelo has popped and lost 3 times, in my opinion. Don't ever compare him to Manny. No, I'm just saying, I'm surprised he didn't get a Manny Pacquiao fight. He got a Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight too. He even got a Floyd. What did he do to deserve a Floyd fight? Seriously, what did he do to deserve a Floyd fight? He got a Floyd fight. Those guys never got those opportunities, man. And that's why, but I've done so much. I've worked so hard. You are one of the most privileged fighters. If he is not the most privileged fighter in the history of boxing, somebody tell me somebody more privileged than him. That is the biggest, other than Oscar, the only guy that comes close to being as privileged as Canelo Alvarez is Oscar De La Hoya. That's it. And he did not punk out like Canelo Alvarez is punking out. He didn't cross the finish line and say, I'm never going to lose to these guys again. You know why? Because he got whooped early on. Keith Nolan, 2211 said, Fanon, like you said yesterday, Errol is showing Canelo how it should be done. Errol is willing to fight everybody. Crawford, Ennis, Ortiz. The answer is the same. I beat them up too. Exactly. Strap season. Man, that's a real dude right there, brother. I'm telling you. Manny Pacquiao dude is looking like a hero compared to that dude. Hey, Fanon, give yourself a gong for being that dude. Hey, thank you, Bridget. Appreciate you, brother. Nah, man, y'all need to stop that with Canelo, man. And I listen to y'all try to defend him. There ain't no defending that dude. There ain't no defending it. There's no defending it. The history is too long, bro. Angulo. Yeah, Angulo. Look at me. Let me say, hey, after I get my man Blacksmith Roz in that super chat, brother, thank you so much for the support. And thank you to everybody else that supports in the Cash App. Said, I don't have to be perfect to ask a question, RJ Fernandez, but you won't answer the Canelo questions. Also, when people ask questions on Canelo, why call people casual, name calling over just an answer? First of all, ain't nothing casual about that, Blacksmith Ross. You going back to stuff that happened 5 years ago, there's nothing casual about it. Nothing. People call you casual when they have not a bit of the casuals is usually called people casuals call people casuals. Because the casual fan can't tell the casual fans usually think that they're real boxing fans. But then they get into a conversation with somebody that is really a hardcore boxing fan, and then they don't know half the stuff they're talking about. They'll just lose them in a conversation. Easy. It's like me. I think I'm a hardcore boxing fan, right? If I have a conversation with Scrapbook Boxing could embarrass me. Because I'll be like, no, I've never heard of him. Oh, I'm sorry, never heard of him. Didn't know that. Never heard of him. Never heard of him. Didn't know that. Wow. Oh, really? Oh, whoa. Really? Wow. How many times? Dude, Scrapbook Boxing has checked me several times. Talking about the number of deaths in boxing. Dude, he'll tell you how many people died in boxing in 1952. You know what I'm saying? Like right away. Boom. Oh, there was 68 people that died in boxing in 1952 versus 28 that died in 1981. So we know that the headgear and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But when guys, you're casual because you don't think Canelo's a superstar because you can't repeat Chris Mannix talking points. Here's an alert. Chris Mannix isn't even a boxing fan, brother. Chris Mannix, some of the people that you think are boxing fans are not even boxing fans. Hey, big ticket 1230. Much love in that Cash App, brother. Thank you so much for that support, brother. It means a lot. Thank you to everybody that supports in the Super Chat and the Cash App. I got to tell you, brother, thank y'all so much, man. Y'all making it work. You make it work around here, man. No joke. I'm going to slide down to the end of the chat just so I don't get too far behind on what cats are saying. Marvin Banks said, facts. Casuals call people casuals because they don't know boxing. Yeah. Dude, this guy on Twitter tried to call me a casual. Like, oh, you're just a casual. You don't know what you're looking at. Bivol is an Olympian. Like, all right. Who's an Olympian? You know what I'm saying? Bivol's a what? Dimitri Bivol is an Olympian? Really? What Olympics did he fight in? You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. I didn't know whether or not Bivol was an Olympian or not. But you know what I did? I was like, hold on. Let me see if Bivol's an Olympian. And it's blazing. No, he's not. He was not an Olympian. You know who was an Olympian, though? Matt Korobov. Matt Korobov was the Olympian who Charlo fought, not Bivol. Bivol did not make it to the World Championships, and he did not make it to the Olympics out of Russia. He didn't. And he wasn't panning out in the pros either. I mean, being in the Olympics is something to talk about. It's something to talk about. But if you're from if you're from another country, it's really not anything to be talking about if you're from the U.S. If you're from the U.S., I don't care. I don't care if you're in the Olympics or not. There's plenty of reasons guys in the United States don't go to the Olympics. They turn pro easy, they turn pro earlier, or they don't have Olympic styles. They're not training to be Olympians. They're training to be professionals, and they're not trying to score in 3-minute rounds, tip tap with you. Those guys are trying to beat you up over 12. You know what I mean? They're trying to develop a style where they can hurt you over a longer period of time. You know what I mean? Which means being a little more patient and being a lot more brutal. King Judah, man, much love in that Super Chat, brother. Thank you so much for that support. He said on Super Chat Thursday, brother, thank you so much for celebrating Super Chat Thursday with us. I'm going to use that name, man. I appreciate y'all, man. King Judah, big boy, said, not a fan of what Canelo is doing, but Bud did the same thing, became pound for pound fighting bum. That's why I don't buy that multi-divisional champ-ish bums or bums. But hold on, man. Let me debate that with you and be a little bit more pro Bud in this regard. Bud, there's nobody at 140 that Bud did not fight. There's nobody at 135 that Bud did not fight. Nobody. You can't tell me anybody that has been calling out Bud in the same weight class, has been a champion in the same weight class that he was a champion in year after year after year. That's not there for Bud. It's not there for Lomachenko either. It's not there. It's not there for It's not there for Floyd. It's not there for Sugar Ray Leonard. It wasn't there. It wasn't there for Thomas Hearns. Canelo. The problem with Canelo, the thing that makes Canelo more of an itch, is that these guys have been in multiple weight classes as him at the same time, and he has refused to fight these guys in multiple divisions. He refused to fight He wouldn't fight Charlo at 154. He didn't fight Charlo at 154. He wouldn't fight Charlo at 160. Now he's turned down Charlo at 168. He's turned him down in 3 divisions. Andrade was a champion at 154. He wouldn't fight him at 154. Andrade had the only other guy with a belt when Canelo owned 3. He wouldn't fight him for undisputed at 160. Now he's at 168, and he's not going to fight him at 168 either. That's what makes Canelo different. Multiple weight classes the man has been in with these guys at the same time. He's literally like and they're undefeated in the weight classes. It's not like they were at 154, they lost. And then Canelo's like, okay, you lost, I'm moving on. No, they were undefeated. They moved up as champions. At 160, they didn't lose at 160. They're undefeated at 160. They beat everybody in front of them. And then boom, they go to 168. So if they go undefeated and they get their belts at 160, they can't even get belts at 168 because he has all the belts. So now he's saying, okay, you guys fight each other. Dude, you are a prima donna, man. And you are used to operating under your own rules. And he's literally saying it to boxing. I can do whatever I want to do. I don't have to adhere by the same standards as other champions. I've earned the right to do whatever I want to do. You sound like a punk. I'm trying to tell you, you sound like Naomi Campbell. You sound more like a runway model than you do a boxer. You sound like one of those people that come in and say, hold on, I'm not fighting tonight. Where are my roasted almonds in my room? I said roasted almonds. It says in the contract, roasted almonds. There's no roasted almonds in Avion. And I didn't say flat, regular Avion. I said sparkling Avion with a hint of cranberry. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, what are you talking about? These dudes been in the same weight class as you. You know they world-class fighters. Stop acting like just because you got a big fan base that everybody else who wants to see the fight, that there's something wrong with them and not something wrong with you and your fan base that don't care that you got caught juicing. Don't care that you ducking these dudes. Don't care that you get special exceptions not to fight mandatories. Don't care that you get special exceptions because you test positive for PEDs. They're going to raise the level of acceptable PEDs. People in your camp can test positive for performance-enhancing drugs and go right into a fight. No, man. They ruining boxing, man. They're terrible. Anyway, Blacksmith Ross said, look, I respect boxing. I thought champions supposed to fight the best or popular request of the fans. If my question is wrong, Canelo Alvarez, please answer the questions. Beating Glass, Chin, Amir Khan, no credit. Yeah, he's hey, buddy, he can fight Amir Khan. But Amir Khan, who had been knocked out by Breedis Prescott, Amir Khan, who had been knocked out by Danny Garcia, he's done enough to get the Canelo fight. Man, y'all are just frauds, man, when y'all defend this stuff, man. Anyway, Kenneth Nolan. Keith Nolan, much love in that super chat. Brother, thank y'all so much for supporting, bro. This champion is simply because someone called you a casual for nine. I'll say this chat is simply because somebody called you casual for nine. You be dropping knowledge and having a great boxing conversation every day. Yeah, they're just stupid. They don't know what they're doing. I'm casual. Every day. They don't pick up a dictionary, dummy. You know what I'm saying? Pick up a dictionary with the word casual. Oh, you're casual. Yeah, I'm casual. You think guys don't need that Jamal, you don't even know who Jamal Charlo is. You know what I'm saying? You're casual. You don't want to see boxing matches, but I'm casual. Right? You don't care about getting a fight that people have been waiting on for 5 years, but I'm the casual one. You believe anything he bumps out his pie hole, man. Quincy Carter in that super chat, brother. Much love in that super chat, bro. He said, Bud was undisputed, 140 undisputed on a 7-8 fight knockout streak. Gotta respect that. Much respect, Fanon. Love your content, bro. Absolutely, man. I respect. Dude, I'm telling you. He ain't like that, man. First of all, Terence Crawford would never, ever. What do you say? It's choppy text. What do you mean? Anyway, first of all, they would never be allowed to do this. And I'm telling you from somebody who's been watching boxing and listening to some of these same people, they would never let Mayweather do this, man. You kidding me? You serious? Really think any way, shape, or form that if Floyd Mayweather Jr. was the WBC champion, and they gave him a special title and said that he doesn't have to fight his mandatories. And his mandatory was somebody like Antonio Margarito. Do you really think these same people would do anything but call Floyd Mayweather Jr. a duck and cry about corruption in boxing? and not even cry because they'd be right to do it. Go off about corruption in boxing. If Floyd Mayweather Jr. was given his own special title that nobody else ever had, that says you do not have to fight any mandatories and you can immediately challenge for a title in any weight division, and then before that test positive for performance enhancing drugs, have the WBC come out and basically say, we don't believe this is true. We don't believe it's true. The sanctioning body that caught him juicing comes out and says, look, we don't believe this. And we're now going to change the rules and heighten the level of acceptable amount of computerol in your system because we think we got it wrong with Floyd Mayweather Jr. while suspending everybody else for the same thing. You think they're going to do that for Floyd? And Floyd is twice as big as Canelo Alvarez is. It's ridiculous. Black Preacher's Torch, correct me if I'm wrong, but did Bud fight Brawner? Brawner was the man at 135 when Bud is at 135. No, Bud was not. Bud didn't get a championship shot until Brawner left. Brawner moved up to welterweight before Terence Crawford fought Breedis Prescott. And then after that, he went back down to 135 and fought Ricky Burns. Terence Crawford had never hit the scene when Brawner was the man at 135 because Brawner had already left. So no. King Judah said, miss my super chat. My bad, brother. Hold on 1 second. Much love in that super chat. So I got to correct you on that. No. Bud did not duck Adrian Brawner. God dog, I forgot who said I missed their super chat. Shit. Hold on 1 second. Oops. Oh, King Judas said I missed your super chat. Hold on 1 second, King Judah. I thought I got it, brother, but hold on. King Judah, I got it. Not a fan of what Canelo was doing, but Bud did the same thing. He became pound for pound fighting bums. That's why I don't buy that million multi-divisional champ-ish. Bums are bums. Yeah, no, but he fought the best. I did answer that, King Judah. Unless there was one I'm missing. Nah, they weren't there at the same time. Adrian Brawner and Adrian Brawner said, hey, live from now on I'm referring to Canelo as the runway pajamas model. Dog, that's what he's acting like. I'm serious. Look, dude, on the real, listen, man, look, for a second, imagine he's not a fighter. Imagine he's not a fighter or a tough guy. And no, don't even worry about it. Just listen to him. Listen to him. He's literally driving around a beautiful car, Bugattis, literally walking off of airplanes, private airplanes with silk pajamas, saying that they don't have anything to offer him. What do you have to offer me? Dude, everybody else talks about giving the fans what the fans want to see. I want to get the fans exciting fights. He talks about what he can say. I'm going for history. I don't care. They have nothing to offer me. I'm going for history. What is that? Some empty phrase called history? Like history, can you tell the future? That's ridiculous, bro. Anyway, man. Hey, Blacksmith Roz says, sorry to Spence fans, but let's unpack the Crawford issues. He cleaned out 140. It's not his fault. He beat everyone in front of him. Canelo chose unpopular champs over Charlo. Blame Bud for Arum only. Yeah, I blame Bud for Arum. That's it. I don't think Bud's ducking. No joke. And much love in that super chat, brother. Black Preacher Man Sports fan Caleb said, what happened to this term paper champion? Because that's what Canelo Alvarez is. Much love in that super chat, bro. No, he beat paper champions. He beat paper champions. I don't think he's a paper champion. I think Callum Smith is a paper champion. I think Bivol is a paper champion. I think Calum Smith is Caleb Plant is a paper champion. He's beaten paper champions and saying that's all they are. Matter of fact, Canelo admitted that Bivol was a paper champion. Admitted it. He said, I'm moving up to fight the second best guy in the division. You're calling him a paper champion. If you think he's the second best guy in the division, you know he's not the best in the division. He admitted it himself that Bivol is the second best guy in the division. And honestly, I think that is maybe he's the second best guy in the division. Maybe the second best in the division. Because I ain't convinced he's any better than Zurdo Ramirez. And honestly, I don't know if he's any better than Voracek. Voracek just got the brakes beaten off that dude by Beterbiev. You know, but dude, if you say the guy's the second best in the division, why are you fighting him? See what I'm saying? Admits the guy's the second best in the division. Well, if you're fighting the second best in the division, why don't you fight the second best at your weight class? But anyway, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. You know, on that, man. Anyway, that's why Canelo didn't pick Zurdo. Oh, no. Mark Cardenas, Zurdo has nothing to offer him. That's I'm going for history against this paper champ, not you. You know what I'm saying? But I'll fight Amir Khan. You know what I'm saying? But I'll fight Amir Khan. I'll fight Julio Cesar. I'll beat. Dude, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is barely a professional fighter. Barely. And he's not going to fight any Mexicans. He's going to make history European. Oh, I understand it now. He's making European history is what he's doing. He's making Russian history. That's what he's doing. Okay, I understand now. I understand, dog. Now I get it. Oh, okay. He doesn't mean that he's making like boxing history. He means he's making Russian history. So he's making European history is what he's making. So the people over there in the British, when they say who did their champions lose to, they'll say Canelo. He wants to be in the UK history books. He wants to be in the Russian history books. You know what I'm saying? Canelo brings back old school boxing. Man, get out of here, man. Ain't nothing old school about Canelo at all. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing hardcore ain't nothing rough and tough old school about that dude, man. Stop it. That dude is seriously, man, please. He's bringing back old school boxing by doing what? Oh, what kind of old school boxing? Jack Dempsey old school boxing? Yeah, he's bringing it back. No joke. When black folk couldn't get a shot, yeah, he's bringing that back. No doubt about it. He's bringing back old school segregationist boxing, where he won't fight no black dudes with talent, and he won't fight any Mexicans with talent. I got it. You know what I'm saying? Check his birth certificate. Say all you do is hate. Nah, Linwood, I don't just hate, brother. I throw people out too. Linwood Blow, I don't just do that. I throw people out the chat too. Get out of here. Anyway, Blacksmith Roz in the building. Canelo fans, answer the question. Is Rocky Fielding more popular and a better champ than Charlo, Yildirim, or Billy Joe better than Charlo and David Benavidez? Of course they are, man. Come on, Blacksmith Ross. Of course they are. They're fighting Canelo. Canelo chose to fight them. That means they're historic. Come on, man. That means they're historic. Don't you understand? Yes, Rocky Fielding is a better champion than Charlo because Canelo Alvarez fought him. Since Canelo fought him, he's historic. He's a historic fighter. See, because Canelo can make history, but does it without fighting historic fighters. But since he fought him, the fighter now becomes historic because he was with Canelo and it happened during history. That's their logic. Dog, y'all just get your nose out of Canelo's backside, brother. I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody duty bound. Nobody duty bound to be Canelo Alvarez fan, first of all. Okay? So you can call people haters all you want. Don't nobody owe Canelo their fanship. Fanship is earned, not given. Okay? Do something to earn it. okay? And do something this decade, all right? We're now in the decade where I'm waiting for Canelo to do something. No joke. And that is just what it is, brother. I don't care what y'all say. I don't like it. And I don't have to like it. And ain't nothing wrong with me for not liking it. You don't even like it. You don't even like it. You just don't hate it. You ain't looking forward to this Bivol fight. How long you been? Let me ask you a question. How long, and I'm asking a Canelo Alvarez fan, how long have you been anticipating a Canelo Alvarez Bivol fight? Tell me. Because I can tell you for sure, I've been looking forward to an Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight for like 3 years, 4 years. There's fights I can name I've been looking forward to for years. Tell me how long you've been waiting. Tell me how long you've been waiting for this Bivol fight. When did you first get your vision of this great historic fight? Ain't it amazing how Canelo can fight historic fights that you didn't even care about? But I was, whoa, this is historic. I didn't give a shit about it 2 weeks ago, but it's historic now. It's ridiculous. Seriously, you guys can't be that stupid. You cannot fall for stuff that stupid. All of a sudden, nobody asking for the fight, but all of a sudden it's historic. Why? Because DAZN says it's historic. Oh, this is historic. This is the first time, that this has ever happened. Man, get out of here, man. King of Kings said Canelo fangirls trying to make the term payday a bad thing, as if these dudes not supposed to want money, as much money as possible as prize fighting. And by the way, and King of Kings, as if Bivol was going to fight him for free. As if Bivol is in there fighting for free. Oh, no, Bivol ain't getting paid. Oh, they just want payday. I'm sorry, is Bivol fighting for free? Just want to know. Bivol fighting for free? Huh? Did Callum Smith fight for free? Did Billy Joe Saunders fight for free? You know anybody fighting Canelo for free? So why can Bivol want a payday and Charlo can't? You guys are just not, man, you just full of it, man. And I know a lot of you guys are bots, okay? But sorry, your fight's going to get crapped on till the day it happens, all right? DAZN, I'm telling you right now, your channel is going to get crapped on from now until it happens, because you guys are taking advantage of your fans. First of all, you said that we wouldn't have to pay for pay-per-view. When we gave you a shot and started putting money in you, you said pay-per-view was dead. But all of a sudden, it ain't dead anymore. Now your pay-per-views are historic. It's historic. Man, Canelo, what you going? Hey, Canelo, where you going? I'm going to go into the toilet. I got to make some history. What you doing? Hey, man, I got to go make some history I got to go to the John and make some history. Hey, Yakub Brown said, I've come to realize that most of these so-called champions just want to talk and not fight each other like the legends used to back in the day. Let's get back to the essence of what boxing is really about, fighting. No doubt, man. Much love in the super chat. Much love in that super chat, bro. Let's get back to the Roy Jones Jr. I don't care. I'm fighting anybody. I'm fighting anybody and everybody type, Roy Jones type action. You know what I mean? The Errol Spence type action. You know what I'm saying? The Julio Cesar Chavez action. Dudes are going to get in there and fight anybody, dude, and not sit up there. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It is said, why fight those guys when he can fight whoever he wants and make the same money? All these boxers just mad because they can't do the same thing. Really? I'm not a boxer, dummy. I am much love in that super chat. I'm a boxing fan. So let me expose this right here, okay? I'm going to go into debunk mood. I'm not a boxer, homie. I'm not a boxer. I'm a boxing fan. I want to see good fights. You're not a professional boxer. You should just want to see good fights. I'm not mad that Canelo Alvarez is making a lot of money. All those dudes are making a lot of money. Jamal Charlo's making a lot of money, homie. He ain't making Canelo money, but dude, he ain't making janitor money either. All right? They making money. All those guys are rich. Demetrius Andrade's a rich man. He ain't as rich as Canelo, but he's a rich man. You, however, are not a boxer, and I'm not a professional boxer. I don't mind talking about how much money they make. I don't care. I'll have a good conversation with you about it. But I want to see a fight. And I don't care about Bivol. And people aren't mad that he can pick whoever he wants. Nobody mad. I'm not mad that he can pick whoever he wants. I'm mad about who he does pick. Ish. You see what I'm saying? I'm mad about who he is fighting, no matter who he's not fighting. I don't care less if he fights Bivol after he fights Charlo and after he fights Andrade and after he cleans up the mess that he left back there. Instead of jumping around all over the place where nobody can know who the best in the division is. Canelo Alvarez has not proven he's the best at 168. He never proved he's the best at 160. And this fight is not going to prove he's the best fighter at 175. Has not proven it. He didn't prove it in 154 because he lost. The best 154 pounder was Floyd. Yeah, nah. The best fighter when he was at 154 was Floyd Mayweather Jr. because Floyd Mayweather Jr. beat him. At 160, he didn't fight Demetrius Andrade when he had a belt, and he didn't fight Charlo. So he did not prove that he's better than those guys. And that's a legitimate question about whether or not he can beat him. At 168, he hasn't beaten David Benavidez because David Benavidez was the best fighter at 168. Lost his belt on the scale. He was the best fighter at 168. The WBC belt that the guy holds is David Benavidez's belt that he never lost in the ring. He did not prove he's the best at 168. And he's not even claiming that he's saying he's the best at 175 because he ain't beat Beterbiev. If anything, if you want to be the best, you want to make history, wait for Beterbiev to get done beating up Joe Smith. And then fight the winner of Beterbiev, Joe Smith. Right? He's not trying to be the best. He is pulling the wool over your eyes. And you can't prove you're the best unless you beat guys that have a claim of being the best. And your mandatory has a claim, especially when they're undefeated. And another champion has the claim, especially when they're undefeated. Right? And an undefeated fighter who got stripped under some dubious circumstances, because I'm telling you that David Benavidez getting stripped for missing weight during the middle of a pandemic. Come on, man. The WBC could have allowed that man to have a non-title fight. Not difficult. You know what? We're in the middle of a pandemic. People's training is thrown off. You're in a bubble, training in a bubble. No worries. We're just going to have this be a non-title fight. We'll still charge you, but it'll be a non-title fight. And you can fight the guy, make the money, whatever. And then you can defend it after the pandemic. Not a worry. Shakur Stevenson was allowed to have a non-title fight in the middle of the pandemic and not get stripped of his 126-pound title. He came into that fight weighing higher. They made that exception for him. But what did the WBC do? They didn't. They stripped him. And then what did they do immediately? Told Canelo he can move up and fight for the title. Sorry, dude. That's dubious circumstances, Mr. Casual. He's never proved that he's the best fighter in any weight division, but you all keep claiming he's making history because he's wearing silk pajamas. I love to argue with you guys. You guys are just not very good. Anyway, you did it, Canelo. First Euro champ with Mexican blood. Exactly, bro. Oh, by the way, I need to see his birth certificate and see what he checked. I want to see if he goes to the hospital, see his medical records, bro. I think that'll tell you a lot. Y'all don't come at Tank like this. Absolutely we do. Tank ain't, yes we have. First of all, Tank ain't got no belts at 135. I say the same thing about Tank. Well, how does Tank have anything to do with Canelo? Tank and Canelo are two different people. First of all, Tank has never tested positive for performance enhancing drugs. And he's never been named franchise champion to get out of fighting a mandatory. Never. And also, when he missed weight, he got stripped of a belt. He doesn't have a bunch of people making excuses for him not fighting people. His own fans say that he's going to beat these guys. He wants to fight these guys. Sorry, man. It's apples and oranges with Canelo. And by the way, it hasn't been happening for 5 years either. Blacksmith Ross, much love in that super chat, bro. He says, since Canelo said he's fighting for history, let's share some facts. After Mayweather fought a young 27-year-old Zab, he never fought a young black fighter again. After Canelo lost to Mayweather, he's scared. Hey, man, did he not? He fought Andre Berto. He fought Andre Berto. Andre Berto is younger than him. Andre Berto's younger than Zab and younger than Floyd. Because I think Zab and Floyd are around the same age. I don't think there's that big a difference in age between Zab and Floyd. I'm pretty sure Andre Berto is younger than Zab. But he did. He fought Andre Berto. Blacksmith Ross. He fought Andre Berto. He did. Who else did he fight? Did he fight anybody else? He didn't fight anybody else. He didn't fight anybody. He said, I meant the actual boxers, not the fans. They get the whole thing. I get the whole thing doing it for the fans. The problem is with boxing, all these belts and these promoters. No, it's not. And here's another thing. It's not a problem with Canelo. It's not. No. With anybody else other than Canelo, you can say that. But that's not an issue with Canelo. They're literally promoters fighting to get their fighters and offering him $100 million to have him fight their fighters. No, Canelo Alvarez is a problem with Canelo because Canelo doesn't have any issues with promoters. He had the PBC offered him $100 million. DAZN offered him $85 million. Presumably, Top Rank would do the same thing. No, dude, Canelo's in the middle of a bidding war between promoters. It's not an issue for Canelo. Canelo can get the Jermall Charlo fight. He was offered a lot of money to get it, and he turned it down. He's not debating whether or not, he's not saying, it's not the situation with Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford where they're like, is there enough money for the fight? Canelo literally can pick who he wants to fight, which puts it all on Canelo. If you understand what I'm saying. Juan Alvarado said, you're like Obama, and you're like, out of here, brother. I don't know what you're talking about when I'm like Obama. You guys have been limited to not even making good arguments. Jeez, you guys are terrible. Anyway, King of Kings said, hey, that's not fair, Fanon. Those weren't just any PJs. Those were gold limited edition, Donald Duck edition from the Quack Quack collection. Much love in that super chat, bro. I'm going to be hard on him, brother. I don't care, man. Whatever, dude. I'm trashing that fight, man. And any of y'all trying to defend that fight, y'all know you're just being politically correct. You know what I mean? You're being politically correct. That's it. The third simple ASU said, Fanon, who wins between Roy Jones and Canelo at 168? Joe Calzaghe. Roy Jones Jr. doesn't deserve the fight. He hasn't done enough. And it wouldn't be historic. Can't go down in history if you lose. You know? That's my answer. I'm going to give you the Canelo answer. He hasn't done enough. I've already surpassed him. That's Canelo's answer to Roy. No, I wouldn't fight him. I'm going to stay at 154 and use diuretics instead of, he'd be at 154 using diuretics instead of 168 using Combuterol. That's what I think. Joe was the man. Okay, whatever. Like I said, if he was the man, he said, yeah, dude, he wouldn't fight him. No way. Canelo was not going to fight that dude. They already tested the waters, brother. They already tested the water, friend. You know what I mean? He ain't going to make that happen, man. No way, brother. You're going to see that fight, man. Anyway, man, thank y'all so much for everybody's supports in the super chat, supporting the Cash App. Thank you guys so much, man. Yeah, man, look, Lara beat Canelo, Quincy Carter. I mean, look, man, look, man. I just find it really funny, man, that you guys just believe these corn on the cob excuses for this guy not fighting a guy in the third weight class. In his third weight class. And it's being so disrespectful to those other champions, man. But to not even give him an opportunity to prove that they're better than him. Because he's going for history. And y'all believe that. Like, what is this history thing? I want to win more belts than anybody. Man, I thought that everybody knew that them belts was trash. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my man Tyrone in the building, man. What's going on? I said, what's cracking, OG? New York in the building. Let's get it, man. Much love in that Cash App, brother. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, let's get it, man. New York City in the house. That's what's up. Hold on one second. Anyway, yeah. Said Walt. Anyway, the Zone subscribers said they are not paying an extra 80 for the Bivol fight. That fight is going to flop. It don't matter. They don't care if it flops. It's just a little bit of an upside, man. I hope it just, I'm not paying for it. I'm a Zone subscriber. I'm not doing it. Like, I'm definitely, without a doubt, going to stream that fight, man. No doubt about it, brother. Canelo's a hype job, man. He's just, I wouldn't say Canelo Alvarez is a hype job. Okay, I wouldn't say he's a hype job. I really do believe he's a real fighter. He's a very, very good fighter. He's just they've just taken him so Hollywood that they don't want to have a chance to lose that cash cow. They've just walled this dude off in this celebrity boxing thing that they're trying to convince him he's so much better than everybody else. In everything he does, he's so much better than everybody else. And everything he does is for a reason. He's not ducking a guy, even though he's not fought him in 3 weight classes. You know, he's an undisputed champion that doesn't have to defend his undisputed title. He can just move up to 175 and then have all of the best competition in a division where he's undisputed all fight each other for no belts. Let me tell you how hypocritical that is. For Canelo to say Canelo doesn't have anything to offer him, right? Why? Because he doesn't have a belt, right? That's what he doesn't have to offer him. He doesn't have a belt. He doesn't have anything to offer me. It's not the money. So what else could it be? Because he's going to get paid no matter who, right? So he says, since I'm going to get paid no matter what, the only thing I care about is the belts. Okay? So only thing he has to offer is the belts. So that's why he's fighting. I'm repeating this. So that's why he's fighting. That's why he's fighting the second best guy at 175. So he wants Charlo, Benavidez, and Andrade to fight each other, all to fight each other for no belts. And then the winner will have what? No belts. So what will they have to offer him when these winners get done fighting each other? What will they have to offer him? Nothing. Why? Because they have no belts. Do you see how that loops? Do you see how that loops? They don't have any belts at 168 or 175. So what they says is they're gonna have to move to 175 and fight Bivol. A fight they're not gonna get. Why? Because Canelo's there. Bivol's not gonna fight Charlo before he fights Canelo. Right? Beterbiev is not going to fight Benavidez. Right? He's not going to fight Benavidez. Why? Why would he? If he gets Charlo. So they're not going to be able to fight for belts at 75 because Canelo's getting the belts at 175. They can't fight for belts at 168 because Canelo has the belts at 168. They can't fight him because they don't have a belt. And there's no path for them to get a belt, especially guys in the WBC. They can't even get a belt in the WBC because he's the franchise champion. Seriously, this is literally what's happening. Literally what's happening. How much further can you go with this, man? You know what I mean? Just announce them God, strip all the belts and give them all of them now. Just give it to him. And then pay him to walk up and down a runway so we can look at his silk pajamas. There you go. That's where we are with Canelo. It's too ridiculous. It's that ridiculous. They can't even fight for the guy. They can't fight for belts because he has them. So they all need to fight each other. The winner doesn't have a belt. So even the winner doesn't have anything to offer him. Except for more risk because he beat those guys and now he's looking like, oh man, this dude can really fight. You definitely don't have anything to offer me now because the risk reward factor is off. You know? Checkmate, you a hater. See, look at dummy. You a hater. Hey man, checkmate, do you ever get tired of sounding stupid? You a hater. You a hater. Man, y'all sound. You a hater is an admission that you don't know what you're talking about. I'm just telling you flat out, brother. Anytime you say something after what I just did, that is truthful. There is nothing, no Canelo, no boxing. Stop the hate, bro. Look. Look what he said. Look at this. No Canelo, no boxing. That right there. This man said there is no boxing without Canelo. Man. You have got to be the biggest fanboy I have ever heard ever. Because isn't that Canelo Alvarez's theme? No boxing, no life. So you put in no boxing, no Canelo. So no Canelo means no life. You are that much in love with Canelo, brother, that you equate Canelo with your life. Canelo says no Canelo, no life. You changed it to no boxing, no life. You changed it to no boxing, no Canelo, no boxing. So no Canelo, no boxing, no life. No Canelo, no life. I love Canelo. It's all about Canelo. Canelo can do whatever Canelo wants. You all are worse than Manny Pacquiao fans times 100. You are worse than Canelo Alvarez fans times 100. Worse than I've never heard anybody say that. You guys got a crush on that man. Smith Ross said, checkmate, you call bias because Charlo wants to fight Canelo, but say won't fight anyone. Let's challenge that. At 160, Canelo almost unified, but left 160 with Charlo there and Andrade. Answer that question. He did. This no boxing, no Canelo, no boxing, no life. There is no boxing outside of Canelo. Who else fights besides Canelo? I only pay attention to Canelo boxing when Canelo's fighting. If there's no Canelo fight, boxing doesn't matter to me. I don't watch Charlo fights. I don't watch Andrade fights. I don't watch Beterbiev fights. I read their box rec. That's what I do. I go to box rec right before the fight happens, and I look at all the guys, and I don't recognize any of the guys on there, so that means this guy can't fight. But I recognize the guys that Canelo fought, and they're good because they fought Canelo. Remember, if Canelo fights him, it's historic because Canelo fought him. It's historic. I'm making history. Shit, y'all are seriously, man. Wow. Like, do y'all ever think about it? You should write down what you're saying and go to the logical conclusion of it. That is, you only watch boxing when Canelo's around. And that's the only thing you care about, is watching Canelo in his silk pajamas jump off of a plane and feel like in another life, that's me. That can be me. Anyway, no, it couldn't be you because Floyd Mayweather Jr. never gave you a shot. Unlike Canelo, and Canelo ain't giving no young fighters no shots. None of them. You not getting no shot like Floyd gave us a shot. You ain't getting no shot. I can't wait till Jaron Ennis gets up there. Man, look, let Jaron Ennis fly through these weight classes, please. And get on up to 168. Because Canelo ain't going to cruiserweight. Keith Knowles said, instead of saying you a hater, after Fanon presents logical arguments supported by facts, perhaps try making your own logical arguments. They can't do it. They're Canelo bots. They're Canelo bots, brother. They can't do it. They're Canelo bots. It's not possible. They work for Canelo. As you heard, they're without Canelo, they don't know boxing outside of Canelo. So don't even feel sorry for them because they just don't know boxing outside of Canelo. They don't know outside of Canelo. Anthony A said Canelo's boring. Yeah, he's very boring. His fights are boring. I already know the outcome before the fights are made. I can tell you the outcome of the fight after the next 3 fights for Canelo. He's going to win because he's going to fight people that are beatable and call it history. Because he's fighting in his second weight class. And you dummies don't even recognize it. Because he's fighting in his second weight class. Not his fourth weight class. He's fighting in his second weight class. Second. Historically speaking, he's fighting in his second weight class. When you look at the original eight weight classes, and you hold him to the same standard as Carlos Monzon and and Bob Foster, you hold him to the same standard as Fritzy Zivik or Harry Greb or people that fought from 1800s, from 1790 to 1980. He's in his second weight class, 160, and he moved up to 175. Historically speaking, if you get my argument, if you get rid of all these junior weight classes, junior and middles, get rid of them, go back to the original 8 weight classes, he's in his second weight class. He's not in his fourth. He ain't making history. There's been plenty of guys that have gone from middleweight to light heavyweight. Plenty of them. Plenty of them. Roy Jones Jr. being one. Okay? And Floyd, and he ain't done nothing. When he gets to heavyweight and he beats a heavyweight champion, wake me up. Okay? Because then he'll be in his third weight class. His historic, even Evander Holyfield at cruiserweight. How what? Thomas Davis? How what? Is he in his second weight class? Because there's originally 8 weight classes in boxing. 8. Now there's 16 because they cut the divisions in half. It originally went from 100, like 112, I believe it's 112 or 108. Just say it's, what is it? Featherweight? Is it flyweight? Flyweight. So it went from 108 pounds. Oh, you're talking to Milwaukee? Okay, cool. Thanks, man. Eric Baker said Bivol is only as good as his resume. I mean, Bivol is what Bivol is, bro. But he admitted he's the second best. He thinks he's the second best guy in the division, man. Canelo, he said, man, I'm moving up to fight the second best guy in the division for a belt. I'm making history. You hear me? He said this. I'm moving up to fight the second best guy in the division, Bivol, because I'm looking to make history. How do you make history? Going up to 168, going up to 175 pounds and fighting the second best guy. I lied, Charles. I lied. Sorry, man. That's what the conversation's about. Canelo's the biggest thing in boxing. I can't get rid of it. Stone Bars. I said I was going to stop talking about Devin too. Doesn't happen. Anyways, has Canelo stopped juicing? I don't know. I don't know. I can't speak on it. Much love in that super chat, bro. I can't speak on it. I cannot speak on it. But by the way, it got nothing to do. Just so you know, if they would have offered him $5 million to fight Bivol, he would have fought Bivol. Because he's going for history. Those guys have nothing to offer me. Then why were you running around talking about you're still negotiating? You hadn't made up your mind. What happened to that, Canelo? What happened to I was negotiating? He was in negotiations to fight these guys. But all of a sudden, they don't have anything to offer him. Then why are you ever negotiating for it? Why were you pushing the price up? Why were you pushing the price up? If money doesn't matter and you never considered those guys. Dude, I would love to get this dude to sit in front of me and have him have to answer questions. You guys are full of it. And he's full of it. He's giving you those answers. He's trying to make as much money as he can with as little risk as he can and claiming the belts. Seriously, man. That third NSU, what is this? That third symbol, I'm not sure what that means, man. I said, Blacksmith Ross said, look at all the boxing fans. We love our champs. I admit it. Be honest, I was a diehard for Roy Jones, but I want him to beat everybody who claimed he would beat Roy. Why not ask Canelo to beat everybody? Dude, because I'm telling you, these guys that say this stuff are in the media, and they work for him. Don't worry, man. DAZN got bots, okay? And they will be in discussions throwing stuff at you because this is a big discussion. We're going to have, how many people are going to be in this? At the end of the day, there may be 8,000 people that watch this live stream. That's 8,000 hardcore fans that will watch this live stream. They're going to have their bots in here and try to get in here and call you names and give each other support and all of that stuff. That's what they do. You know what I mean? Pressure you and talk about something's wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? As if you can't, and there's something wrong with obviousness. Like Canelo's saying, hey, much love in that super chat to everybody that supports. Thank y'all so much. Hey, man, y'all give me 40 seconds. I will be right back. Give me 40 seconds. Don't leave the chat. Hit that like button because I know y'all messing me over on the like button, man. All right, back at you. Sorry about that, brother. My man Keith Nolan in that super chat, bro, said, Fanon, did you go to the goddamn? Dang. Excuse my language. Did you go to the bathroom to make history? Yeah, exactly. I just made some Canelo history. Nah, though, not the same type, dog, because, you know, he makes solid history. That's that Canelo history, bro. Oh, my God, man. Hey, man, I'll be right back. Man, y'all be falling for anything. Y'all don't even fall for it, man. Y'all just make excuses for it, bro. But maybe, you know, it is what it is, man. King, that sounds so lame. Second best. That's what he said. Just so you know, I'm not making it up. Canelo said that. Larry Smith. Let me find it, Larry Smith. Hey, Eddie Escoto said, after Ugas, do you got Spence beating Crawford? Yeah, absolutely I do. Absolutely I do. Much love in that super chat. And I'm going to tell you right now, Errol Spence Jr. would be crazy not to. No joke. Errol Spence Jr. would be crazy not to fight Terence Crawford. Fight that dude. Make sure you fight that dude. Because so you can get past Canelo, bro. Because Canelo ain't fighting anybody. It's there. No joke. Canelo's sitting there and not doing nothing. He's not expanding his fan base at all. He's just happy off the fan base that he has. Eventually, somebody gonna pass that dude up. As soon as you get a good matchup in boxing. No joke. As soon as you get a good matchup in boxing where two people are in the same weight class and they both got respect and one guy wins that in either welterweight or heavyweight, they will pass up Canelo because Canelo's not in he's not in the glamour division. He's not a welterweight, he's not a heavyweight. He'll get passed up, I'm telling you. And y'all can be real sick. Y'all be real sick about it. Hey, y'all, man, can we get them likes up to 400? Hold on, man. Let me hit this real quick, man. Let me put this. Let me go over here, man. See y'all screwing me over, man. Yes, man. Can we get that likes over 400, man? We got 27 likes in the building. Let's get them likes up, man. Yeah, but anyway, man. Okay, I got that. And somebody said I missed a super chat. Who? Man. Stone Bars. It was an unfamiliar super chat. Hold on one second, man. I got to go here and make sure that I get this right. Got to get it right, man. Got to get it right. Got to get it right. Hold on one second, man. Got to get it right. Got to get it right. Hold on. Larry Smith said, Is Canelo a bigger star than Oscar De La Hoya in the 90s? Not even close. My bad, Larry Smith. Wow, I missed that, dude. I'm sorry, man. That's a big super chat too, brother. My bad. Whoa, I'm sorry. Let me see if can I get back farther enough to put that back up? Oh, I answered the question why I go back in time to see if I can get it. And so I can put it up on the stream. Brother, thank you so much, brother. That is huge. Much love in that super chat. As soon as I get to it, Blacksmith Ross, much love. Larry Smith in that super chat said, is Canelo, much love in that super chat, brother. He said, is Canelo a bigger star than Oscar De La Hoya in the 90s? No, he's not. He's not a bigger, let me tell you where he is as far as star power of fighters. He is below Floyd Mayweather. He's below Manny Pacquiao. He's below Oscar De La Hoya. He's below Sugar Ray Leonard. He's below Mike Tyson. He is below. Whoa, I forgot. Oh, do I need to go back further? Obviously, Ali. Obviously, I don't want to go back too far. All right. But if I go from Ali forward, right? Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, Evander Holyfield, probably Evander Holyfield. And Evander Holyfield. I think he's probably just after Evander Holyfield. Probably a little bit further than Oscar De La Hoya. No, I think he's above Roy Jones Jr. I think he's above Roy Jones Jr. As far as like his star power and all that, I think he's above Roy Jones Jr. For sure, he's above Roy. For sure, he's above Roy. But that's what, but he's not, he's probably lower than Lennox Lewis. But but below Lennox Lewis, below Evander Holyfield, below Mike Tyson, definitely way below Oscar De La Hoya. Way below Oscar De La Hoya. It's below a lot of cats. Now, I wouldn't say he's below Wilder. I think that he's probably a bigger name. He's a bigger name than Wilder. I think he's a bigger name than Wilder. I think that's fair because, I think that's fair. Yeah, there's no way Roy Jones above Canelo. Yeah, he's not. No, Roy Jones not Roy Jones. He's a better fighter, but he's not a bigger name. But dude, just looking at what Canelo's numbers are, dude. Canelo Alvarez. I mean, Julio Cesar Chavez. It's hard for me to tell with Julio Cesar Chavez, but he's not Mike Tyson, man. He's nowhere near Mike Tyson. He's nowhere near Floyd. He's nowhere near Manny Pacquiao. He's nowhere near Oscar De La Hoya. He's not. He's, I would say somewhere around like, he's bigger than B-Hop. He's bigger than B-Hop. But maybe Julio Cesar Chavez. But dude, his pay-per-views he did 1 million pay-per-view buys. The reason he's getting paid a lot of money because the Zone is just paying him a lot of money. He gets a lot of guaranteed money from the Zone. He's not that big without the guaranteed money. He's not that big. And I'm telling you something else, dude. Other cats are gonna pass him up. As soon as you got a real stuff going on in the welterweight division, they're gonna pass Canelo up. And honestly, I can't wait for it. Cannot wait for it. Where does he rank in legitimate hate of Canelo? Man, Canelo doesn't get nearly any hate. Canelo gets, first of all, most of the people that do the hating do not really, because here's the thing. Charlo doesn't have some gigantic fan base that's hating on Canelo for not fighting him. He hears it, but it's not, Jermall Charlo's not a really big name. David Benavidez isn't a big name. Demetrius Andrade is not a big name. Those guys are fighters that are just the fighters that hardcore boxing fans want to see him fight. It's not a situation like Manny Pacquiao, where Manny Pacquiao has got his own really big deal. He's ranked number 1 in hype jobs. Nah, there are bigger hype jobs than him. I don't think Canelo's a hype job, honestly. Y'all tripping? Canelo don't have the star power Roy had. I think you may be right. I think he made bigger fights than Roy because they weren't paying Roy all of that. Roy never had anybody who was any real competition. Well, he did, but, yeah, Chavez Jr. is a hype job. Mayweather is the hated fighter all time above Galata. Where does he rank? Man, dude, let me tell you something, man. You cannot say Canelo's hated on. Canelo is the most privileged fighter I've ever seen. Canelo's not hated on. He's ridiculously privileged. He's privileged. You know what I mean? He's just really, really privileged. And I don't think there's any way anybody can argue that he's the most privileged fighter. Nobody's been nearly that privileged. When they create championship belts for you, when they change drug testing rules for you, change drug testing rules for you, they offer you $100 million contracts to fight nobodies and have people turn around and act like he's a somebody, like Bivol, like for real. Like you were really acting like you so into this Bivol fight. You couldn't care less about the Bivol fight, man. The fight with you was, will he sign with Charlo? Will he fight Charlo? I hope not. Oh, man, we don't want the PBC to get that fight. Oh, man, he's back at the zone. We won. That type crap. You know what I mean? Blacksmith Ross said, yes, money-wise, Canelo's bigger than Roy Jones, but fighting, he's not better. No, he's not better. No way. Roy Jones, super reflexes, speed, skills. Roy in a movie star. Absolutely. Much love in that super chat. Look, I'm not hating on Canelo. Just telling you the truth. What do you want me to say? Hey, hear it. You want me to tell you that he's bigger than Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Oscar De La Hoya? Do you want me to say that? He's not. He hasn't given us near the fights Oscar De La Hoya has. His career is nowhere near Oscar De La Hoya's career, man. He's not. And there's no way that you can judge Canelo Alvarez and put him above Oscar De La Hoya. He's not as popular as Oscar De La Hoya. He didn't give us as good a fights as Oscar De La Hoya. He's not any better a fighter than Oscar De La Hoya. He doesn't have a heart Oscar De La Hoya has. Oscar De La Hoya will get your pride and he'll get your appreciation in defeat. Simply by having enough cojones to fight Bernard Hopkins. Come on, man. Look at the fights this guy gave us and against guys in their prime. Seriously, man, he's not Oscar De La Hoya, bro. He's not. He's not. There's no way you can put him with Oscar De La Hoya. And that is not hate. That's just a fact. He's not on Oscar De La Hoya's level, man. He's not. He's not on Manny Pacquiao's level. No joke. He's not on Manny Pacquiao's level. He hasn't given us the fights Manny Pacquiao gave us. He's no better fighter than him. He's not fought and won belts in more weight classes, which is where I'm confused. What history are you making? What history are you making? Oh, I was undisputed at 168. So what? 168 shouldn't even be a real weight class. And you skipped over at 160. Bernard Hopkins was undisputed at 160. How are you doing something Bernard Hopkins didn't do? Bernard Hopkins became undisputed at 160, became champion at 175. And he did it when he was like 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You're not better than Oscar? Dude, and as far as being the best fighter, dude, I can name 10 fighters better than Canelo. Recent fighters better than Canelo. And some of them, you're not going to like when I say them. Like Erislandy Lara is better than Canelo. I can name cats that you ain't even like that are better fighters than Canelo. De La Hoya is a better fighter than Canelo. Mayweather's a better fighter than Canelo. Manny Pacquiao's a better fighter than Canelo. Roy Jones Jr. is a better fighter than Canelo. Bernard Hopkins is a better fighter than Canelo. Andre Ward is a better fighter than Canelo. Sugar Ray Leonard is a better fighter than Canelo. Roberto Duran is a better fighter than Canelo. Pernell Whitaker is a better fighter than Canelo. Shoot, man, you may give me Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley at 135 is a better fighter than Oscar De La Hoya. I can name not Oscar De La Hoya, Canelo. I can name a bunch of fighters better than Canelo. Still, Canelo Alvarez is a good. James Toney's a better fighter than Canelo Alvarez. Without a doubt. Michael Nunn's a better fighter than Canelo Alvarez. I mean, it can go on. Tommy Hearns, other than Tommy Hearns' chin, Tommy Hearns is a better fighter than Canelo Alvarez. Marvelous Marvin Hagler's a better fighter than Canelo Alvarez is. Nah, not Prince Nassim. Yeah, I said Pernell Whitaker. I can name a bunch of fighters better than him, man. I can name fighters bigger than him, better than him. We're in a down point in boxing, and he's the biggest name in a down point in boxing, and he ain't trying to let anybody get a taste of that stage, is what it looks like to me. With the help of DAZN, who out there ripping people off, talking about there ain't any pay-per-views, and once they flopped, all of a sudden they're gonna go Canelo. We got Canelo. We're keeping Canelo no matter what. Mike Kirkland said I had a question in the missed super chat. Much love in that super chat, brother. I'll go back to you. Sorry, bro. Prince Nassim is not better than Canelo, man. Prince Nassim. Oh, Juan Manuel Marquez. Give me Juan Manuel Marquez. Canelo Alvarez is about a Juan Manuel Marquez to me. There you go. I'll say that. He's about Juan Manuel Marquez level as far as being a fighter. Mike Kirkland said, would you give Canelo credit if he beat Beterbiev instead of Bivol? If he was going right into a Bivol fight, I wouldn't say nothing. Absolutely. If he went straight to Bivol, I probably wouldn't say much. If he fought Bivol. If he fought a 2-fight deal to fight him and then Bivol, but dude, he's going back down to a guy that's 160 after this. Would I give him credit for it? I mean, you know what it is. Look, there's a little bit of selfishness in me, or more than a little bit. I want to see him fight. I want to see him fight guys that I think have a style that can beat him. No joke. And those guys for me are Demetrius Andrade, David Benavidez, and Jamal Charlo. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Aisha Pearson, great. Thank you so much for that support. And that Cash App says supporting the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you for that support. Thank you so much for that support. That's huge. My man Tyrone back in the Cash App said, Canelo, multi-division world champion ducker. Much love in that super chat, and you ain't never told no lies. That's kind of where I am with it. Tyrone Joseph, again, man, you killing it in the Cash App, Tyrone. Thank you. Said Canelo will never be respected like Oscar De La Hoya. Yeah, dude. He's just not unless he fights these guys. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Just come on, man. Ain't nobody Bivol. And my man, Tyrone in that super chat at Cash App again, brother. Thank you so much. He said, Canelo with Duck Winky. He hasn't earned it. Much. Oh, exactly. Dude, I'm trying to tell you. Bernard Hopkins wouldn't earn it. Bernard Hopkins, I'm sorry. What do I have to gain from that? From Bernard. What do I have to gain from fighting Bernard Hopkins? Odell Bell said I had a missed question in the super chat too for now. My bad, Odell Bell. Much love in that super chat, brother. Let me go get you. And thank y'all so much for the support. They have the support in that Cash App, brother, and the super chat. Y'all make the channel go, and it's less frustrating dealing with these bots. The botness of the whole thing. Odell said you missed it. You gonna send me back, Odell? Oh, you had a missed question in the super chat? It didn't come through, brother. It didn't come through. Can you ask your question again? Because it didn't come through. The super chat didn't post. So if you could give me another question, that'd be great. Thank you, Odell. Yeah, the botness of it. Yeah, all these bots out here trying to act like cats talking about it. Yuri C., you're saying we hate Canelo. That's name calling, and you have no facts. Let's unpack the facts. Canelo fought Old Small, Mosley, and Cotto. He lost to a blown-up 130 Mayweather. Be objective. Yeah, pretty much, brother. Terry Schmoot out here lying in the chat. No. No. No, he ain't. No, he ain't, bro. No, he ain't. Hey, Gary Antoine Russell's better than Canelo. You out here lying in the chat trying to make a hater out of me, dog. I ain't about to be no hater like that now. Come on now. I'm giving Canelo his respect now. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I am trying to stick. He said, hell no, Devin Haney, I like him, but he would get slumped. Hey, I'm going to tell you, man, Devin Haney hate my eye, dog. He'll get beat by Gary Antoine Russell. And, dude, I'm going to be laughing when I swear, I'm going to call Gary Russell and beg him, please have Gary Antoine Russell call out Devin Haney, please. Call him out every day. So we can get the excuses about why he don't fight that dude. Hoisted on your own petard, dog. Hoisted on your own petard. You can fight the little Gary Russell, but you can't fight the big Gary Russell? Come on, dog. Man, you better not duck Gary Russell Jr., dog. I swear, dog, I'm going to be laughing, dog. Seriously. And that is not out of hate of Devin Haney personally. I have no ill will whatsoever. No ill will whatsoever about Devin Haney or Bill Haney. They getting that money. They getting that paper. And they got you suckers dancing. And they got you suckers tap dancing on a dime. I can't do nothing but applaud them. Y'all, on the other hand, dog, wait until he don't fight Gary Antoine Russell. Okay? He goes to 140. The minute he goes to 140, he don't call out Gary Antoine Russell and fight that man, he's a ducker. Because Gary already called him out. So the second he touches that weight class and don't fight him. If he weighs over 140 pounds going to a bathroom, he steps on a scale at 140, it's a duck. You say you won't even acknowledge him as a champ? What do you mean I won't acknowledge who is a champ? Who am I talking about? I won't examine. Is Devin Haney is a champ? He's a champ. He's a champion. I'm not saying he's not a champion. It's not me that's the problem. It's the WBC. Don't get on out of here, dog. Don't try to move. Don't try to move and talk about something else. Because y'all know y'all don't want that fight. I ain't saying Devin Haney don't want that fight, but y'all know y'all don't like that fight. You know it. And it's just one weight class up against an inexperienced non-champion. You know you don't want that fight now. Just fess it up and I'll leave it alone. Just fess up and I'll leave you alone. That you done hoisted yourself on your own sword. That's a batar. You know, that things that just so you know what hoisting yourself on your own batar means. It's like you have like a gun, you know, guns with the knives at the end, right? So it's a big long sword at the end of your gun. So what people would do is in battle, they would shoot. When they got close, they'd stab you on a petard and lift you. So they mean you got hoisted yourself on your own petard means this. You made an argument against Gary Russell Jr. that if you apply to Devin Haney, no, not, it's a different word for it. But yes, I think it's like hoist yourself on your own petard. I think that's another word for a bayonet. No, it's hoist yourself on your own petard, which is a sword. It's basically like a bayonet, but it's a French word for bayonet. Whatever. So like a bayonet. However, just petard. That's what they call it. Hoist yourself on your own petard. So, yeah, you jabbing people with that he's a duck artist stuff. And now you got to deal with it. First of all, it doesn't matter that Gary Antoine Russell's bigger and that he's at a bigger weight class that Devin Haney's not fighting in and that Devin Haney is a champion in that weight class. Doesn't even matter. Because Gary, even though he's a champion at 126, 2 weight classes below, had a duty to fight Devin Haney as soon as Devin Haney called him out. That's what you guys said. I was saying that was not true. But you guys, hey, that's what you said. So now that Gary Antoine Russell is calling out Devin Haney at a weight class. And even though Devin's a champion at 135, he's got to take that fight. Or he's ducking. Right? What's good for the goose is good for the gandy. Good for the gander. No, I like Lord Haney. Hey, all praise Lord Haney. I like Devin Haney. I like Bill Haney. I respect what they do. It's y'all trolls in my chat that I'm about to get. Don't sit up there and call a bunch of cats ducks if you ain't willing to recognize and apply the same rules to the fighters you like. Terry, there you go, Terry Schmoot. Go ahead, there. I like that. Devin Haney is at 135. How's he ducking above weight class? Oh, yeah, I like that one. I don't know. Ask Devin Haney. Devin Haney said it's a duck. What are you talking about? Ask Devin Haney how that is. Devin Haney says that's a duck. It ain't a bit out of context. Nothing. It ain't nothing out of context about that, homie. It's literally the same guy's name. The guy's even got the same name. Gary Russell told Devin Haney, come on up here and get this work. Devin Haney told Gary Russell, come on up here and get that work. It's the same thing. But I tried to told you. What goes around comes around, fancy pants. Terry, you know what it is. What goes around comes around, fancy pantses. Don't go making arguments. For fighters that you're not willing to apply to the same fighter. Odell Bell in that super chat, brother. Much love, brother. He said, 8 for 9. Crawford wasn't talking about keeping it boxing when Bernie the Boxer and Bomac was calling them all types of drunks and stuff. Yeah, man, but that ain't Crawford didn't say it. Crawford didn't say it. And if you didn't check it, hey, Errol Spence Jr. already checked his whole camp. Errol already checked his camp, but Errol Spence Jr. said the same thing. So I think it's fair. Errol said, hey, these other guys out here talking crap and 3 and 4 people sitting around in a circle talking bad about cats. He said the same thing. But no, man, I think you shouldn't get, man, look, man, there's nothing about only, I'll make jokes about Canelo Alvarez and his silk pajamas, all right? But I'm not going to talk about his kids. I'm not going to talk about his wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to talk about, all of that stuff, man. You know what I mean? It's just, I want to see him fight. There are fights that I want to see Canelo fight. So I can turn around and do just like I did with Tyson Fury, which is get that dude credit. But I ain't get him no credit until he fights those guys. No joke. Because I'm going to think if you fight, because with all that ducking he's doing with Charlo and Andrade and Benavidez, less so ducking with Benavidez, but more ducking with Andrade and Charlo, I'm going to think he just sees something in Beterbiev where he thinks, oh, okay, I can beat him now. I think he's matchmaking. That's what I think. Stone Bar said, huge fan of Haney, but Russell beats Boots, so A. Beat Boots, so A. Let me tell you, Stone Bars, I'm going to tell you right now, if Devin Haney don't get that man strength at 140, he better get that man strength. Let me put it that way. He better get that man strength. Because he's going to get hit. He ain't slipping and sliding past that, homie. No. He's going to have a dude coming at him. And he's not going to slip and slide past all of that. Because that is an Olympian, homie. No joke. That dude is a very, very good boxer, brother. Gary Antoine Russell. And they got a game plan. And they know what they're going to do with him. They know what they're going to do with Devin. He better get that man strength, brother. If he gets his man strength at 140 and he can crack and he can get the dude's respect, then okay, he's got a shot. If he can't get Gary Antoine Russell's respect, he's going to get him out of there. Because he's going to catch up to him. No joke. And here's another thing. When you move up in a weight class, you may not move as well with the extra pounds. Could slow you down a little bit. You know what I mean? That's a bigger dude, man. Not only is a bigger dude, he's a much bigger dude. Russell Loma 2 is a must. Hey, man, it'll be great, but we're not going to see it, man. Somebody say, Gary Antoine Russell will make Haney do Do the what? The Cocarina. What is that, man? Is that a dance? You gonna make him do a dance? I'm just trying to tell you. That's a very hard matchup for that kid. And I know y'all don't want that, dog. I can already hear it. I don't pay attention a lot to it, but I know y'all really don't want that, man. I know you don't. Just tell me you don't want it. As a Devin Haney. Who's the resident Devin Haney fan? And if you just say, look, we really don't want that. We really don't want that. We really don't want that. Hey, Jeremiah Venice, Canelo is my guy, is gay. Get out of here, man. Come on, man. I got to throw you out for that. Don't insult Canelo like that, bro. Keep it boxing. Canelo got kids. Canelo got a day. Canelo got a little piece on his arm, dog. Canelo don't look nothing like that. Canelo look like he doing his thing. Got to throw you out there for hating on Canelo. No Canelo hate allowed. Only facts. You know what I'm saying? Only facts. Where you at, dog? Haney ain't ready. T. Dawson, Haney ain't ready. Rizzler said, your thoughts on Gennady Golovkin? Is he really good? Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. Same style as Bivol. You know what I'm saying? Same style as Bivol. Gonna have, but I'm looking for that fight. That fight, if it happens, we'll see. On the real though, hey, dog. Seriously, I'm rooting for Murata. I'm rooting for Murata, dude. I'm rooting for Murata. And if I'm telling you, if he looks bad against Murata and he still takes that fight, dude, dog, you know it's gonna be on. If he looks bad against Murata, and after he looked like he lost against Deverenchenko, and they still make that fight, dog, you know it's a fraud. That's what I'm waiting for, dog. I'm looking up forward. Fanon, Bivol gonna beat Canelo. Watch it. Nah, he ain't beating him. He ain't beating him. Bivol ain't beating him. Bivol ain't beating Charlo. Bivol ain't beating Andrade. Bivol ain't beating Beterbiev. Bivol ain't beating Benavidez. I don't buy it. You know what I'm saying? Blessings 365 said, Devin isn't turning down no fades. Bay Area stand up. All right, Blessing 83 at 65. You better duck that fade, bro. Duck that fade, man. Seriously. Duck that fade. Duck that fade. Please duck that fade. I don't even want to see it. Duck that fade, bro. Duck that fade. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stay right where you are, comfortable at 135, and wait for those guys to come around and have to fight you. Okay? You ducking your call out for nine? Hey, look, man, I'm a Devin Haney fan, dog. I don't want to see Devin. Hey, I don't want to see Devin Haney derailed like that. If Devin Haney get derailed, I want to see Devin Haney get derailed for a major belt, making a lot of money. I don't want him jumping out there with Gary Antoine Russell and getting Hector Garcia. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him go out like Chris Colbert, bro. Okay, I don't want to see him go out like Chris Colbert. Why would I want to see Devin? Hey, seriously, man. I do like Devin Haney. I'm really just playing with y'all, right? I ain't a sycophant now. You know what I'm saying? I give him his credit, all of that good stuff. I really do want him to get the George Kambosos fight, all of that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want him to go. I do not want him to go out. Do not want him to go out like Chris Colbert, bro. You know what I'm saying? Terry Schmoo said he smokes Sabril, Montana, Brandon Lee, Enriquez. Oh, I got him over Brandon Lee. I don't know about Montana Love. Montana Love can crack. Sabril, I think he may beat Sabril. Because Sabril ain't got a lot of punching power. He's just real active. So on the real, I think Devin Haney beats Sabril. I think he beats Brandon Lee. I don't know about Montana Love because I've not seen enough of Montana Love. And plus he carries a dog into the ring. So it's kind of like I never trusted Chris Colbert totally because he kept coming in with his hair dyed. You know what I mean? Also, that's something Jamal Charlo needs to recognize. Jamal, you need to get rid of that dye on the top of your head because it's affecting your boxing. Like, I'm sorry, bro. As soon as Sabril Matil got rid of all that color and got rid of that blonde crap, as soon as he got rid of that blonde crap and his hair went to black, he got back on track. As soon as I saw Luis Ortiz with that blonde dye in his hair, I was like, okay, it's a matter of time till somebody gets him. You know what I mean? I don't believe in all of that. I'm telling you, it's Canelo Alvarez in his silk pajamas. The universe don't like silk pajamas, brother. The universe does not bend towards the will of silk pajamas. They don't. Because that's anti-hard work, bro. You killing way too many worms doing their job on that silk for the universe to respect you walking around in silk underwear, bro. And I'm telling you, certain fighters going to see that. They're like, man, this dude walking around in silk underwear, bro. There's something to him. We can get up underneath that. He didn't go all balls to the walls against Floyd Mayweather Jr. either. There's something. And he uses steroids too. Yeah. And he won't fight Charlo. Anyway, I'm telling you, there's some young buck out there looking at him like that. Thinking, yeah, let me get in that room. I'm going to mop that clown. You know who I think that is? Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis. Like, yeah, let me get in there with that dude. When I get there, yeah. Because his heart, I don't think his heart's in it. He act like do a lot of talking like his heart's in it. But the silk pajamas and ducking Charlo and ducking Andrade, it don't tell the same story, brother. It may be Benavidez. Maybe Benavidez. But I'm telling you, them silk pajamas, brother, that's a tell. All of this, I'm fighting the second best guy in the division in order to make history. That's a tell, man. Telling you. Canelo is sponsored by Hublot Watches. I'm sure he's sponsored by a lot of people. John Page, much love, King. Tell the family I support and salute. Where's John Page, man? I see John Page in here, brother. I was out here messing with him, bro. I'm out here messing with him, man. I'm trying to tell you, but hey, you better fight that boy. You don't want that, though. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you that with his family in the building. I don't want to see Gary Antoine Russell and Devin Haney, man. I don't want to see him go out like that. I don't want to see him go out like that. I want to see, this is not hating? Oh, I'm joking a little bit, dog. But no, that's not hating. I'm telling you. Dog, serious cats be looking at people like that, man. People look at you to see if you soft, man. People will look at you like that, man. Cats be knowing. Cats know when you see a hungry fighter and when you see a fighter that thinks they made it. Dude, Canelo Alvarez is not superhuman, bro. If he loses the hunger, bro, it's over. He ain't that much better than everybody. And he ain't fighting nobody. He keeps fighting the same type of guys, dude. That's not hating, I'm telling you. It's a matter of time, bro. He already got busted up by Mayweather. He already lost to Lara, dude. I'm telling you, it's a matter of time. And when you least expect, hey, and by the way, if he loses to Bivol, I will say, hey, man, I was wrong. Great facts. But I'm telling you, people see that stuff. You're not training hard. That's what they said about Errol. They're like, look, man, this guy, I don't know, man. I got some rumors with him. He out here drinking. He's out here drinking. He's out here doing this. He's out there doing that. We heard the same thing about Canelo. Canelo out at parties drinking. Canelo out there drinking. There's pictures of Canelo out there drinking, drunk, talking shit on a mic. Come on, man. And then he ain't going to fight these guys? Come on, man. Y'all know these dudes should get that fight. Hey, Breezy in the building says, salute. Why don't Canelo fight Charlo, Andrade, Benavidez, the other two fighters, and the others fight each other's winner face each other like Leonard, Duran, Hearns? Oh, yeah. No, because he's not going to do that. He's not going to fight them. I'm on the board that they're going to cruise this out to the end of the day. It's all this free press. Hey, John, Fanon, them Haney don't want that 140 Russell work. Hey, man. Hey, dog, I'm trying to tell you. But look, John Page, I'm telling you. What's good for the goose, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I was saying it the whole time. You cannot call out a guy at a weight class, 2 weight classes below you, and act like that dude owes you a fight or he's a duck and he's capped and all that stuff because he does not fight a champion 2 weight classes below because he don't fight somebody 2 weight classes above him. That is not ducking. It's not ducking. Nobody, and you shouldn't apply that rule to anybody. So for me, I would say, no, Devin doesn't have to fight him. Devin doesn't have to fight a guy that much bigger than him. And a guy that fights like that too, they're not in the same weight class. He can't duck them. That's what I would say. Hey, Timothy, let me tell you what's going to happen, Timothy. He's going to get beat up. I'm going to tell you, you're going to get beat up, brother. Beat up. I don't think Gervonta wants that either. Just so you don't think I'm discriminating. Gervonta don't want that either. You know who else don't want that? Regis Prograis don't want that. Haney Campbell, you still nah, dude. I'm smoking idiots. Only thing I smoke is fools. See you later, homie. Thomas said, Mr. Super Chat, brother. My bad, man. Thank you for letting me know. Let me slide up, man. Thomas Davis, would Nello be ducking Bivol and G if he took the Charlo fight? No, he wouldn't be. They're in the same. He's a champion. No, he would be doing what he's supposed to do when you fight people in your own weight class. No, Benavidez is at 168. Charlo's moving to 168. Charlo's the 168-pound fighter, the weight class below him, who was also in the same weight class. If he's not ducking, if he doesn't move up a weight class to fight somebody that didn't even call him out, absolutely not. He wouldn't be ducking him. My opinion, he'd be doing what he's supposed to do. But nah, brother, I'm going to tell you right now, dog, I don't think he wants that, man. That's from what I saw of that fight. And if you look, let me put it this way. The fact, Desi Bryant said, you saying that going to make Haney take the fight? No, it is not. No, it ain't. No, it is not. He's not. I ain't got Regis pressed up. That boy going to beat Regis. That boy's going to beat Regis. I like Regis, but that boy beats Regis. No, he's not going to take that fight. I'm telling you, Devin's not going to take that fight. Y'all are confusing Devin Haney with somebody that's dumb. Okay? Devin Haney and Bill Haney make good business moves. They make solid, sound business moves. They don't throw away money. They're not going to do that. Not going to do it. Because if they did, they would be dumb. No joke. Why would you fight him for that? No. You know what that's like? That is like Josh Taylor moving up to welterweight to fight Jaron Ennis. It would be dumb. Yeah, he makes good money until he loses to a guy that very few people in the boxing world really know about. Let me tell you, Showman Dog, ain't nothing stiff about that kid. That kid can fight, man. And he's very, very sharp. But just be real, dudes. On the real, no. He's not going to take that fight, man. And honestly, he shouldn't have to. He's a 135-pound champion. I don't think he should have to. But like I said about Gary Russell Jr., he didn't have to either. But y'all was running on that cat. Y'all running on that cat like there was no tomorrow. Which is why I'm saying I don't have a problem with Devin Haney or Bill Haney. My problem is with cats that claim to be consistent when they're anything but. My problem is you cats that claim to be about black fighters and then rip a mud hole in one for not doing something that you know they don't even have any business doing. Gary Russell Jr. didn't have no business fighting Terence Crawford, and he didn't have any business moving up to 135 to fight Devin Haney. And you guys ripped that dude a mud hole while he's being ducked in his own weight class. So I'm sorry, it was the hypocrisy of the whole circumstance that I couldn't stand. Show me bag, shut up. Then guess what? Devin Haney put his foot in the mouth calling out Gary Antoine Russell, so go fight him. There you go. Easy money, no worries. If Gary Russell Jr. put his foot in his mouth by calling out somebody who is not Devin Haney, then guess what? Gary Russell, as soon as Devin Haney says he wants to fight anybody, any other fighter in boxing can call him out. What sense does that make? So I guess if Devin Haney calls out George Kambosos, then he has a duty to fight. Then he has a duty to fight Virgil Ortiz. Because he said, oh, man, if you got time to fight George Kambosos, you can fight me. Come on, man. Stop. Gary gives Devin trouble. I'm telling you, Gary Antoine Russell is going to beat him. Gary Antoine is too big, man. He's too big. He's a pressure fighter, and he's a slick southpaw pressure fighter, which means what? His hand is going to block that jab. He's going to knock that jab down, knock that jab down, knock that jab down, and counter. I'm telling you. And that straight right, he ain't got no pop in that straight right. That's what I think. But anyway, it is what it is, man. I'm out of here, man. Much love to everybody in the channel. Much love. Thank you, everybody, to come supporting. And with that, you're funny. And with that, I'm out. Peace.